Kevin Coelho is dropping pounds before our very eyes. Look, he just lost more weight. Do you want to be like Kevin Coelho, who's running the teleprompter? Then use our sponsor, Beachbody On Demand. Beachbody On Demand is an online fitness streaming service that gives you unlimited access to a wide variety of highly effective, world-class workouts personalized to meet your needs, plus extensive nutritional content, all proven to help people achieve their health and fitness goals. P90X? Insanity? Beachbody On Demand has them, so be like Kevin and get to using them. Right, Kev?
Yeah.
This is a brand new service, but already more than 1 million members have joined. You can claim a free trial membership, kind of funny, best friends. Just text Greggy to 303030 and get full access to the entire platform for free. 600 different workouts, 100 recipe videos, a Kevin Coelho beach body. What do you got to lose, Paula? What's up, everybody? Welcome to the GameOverGreggy show. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside the producer/seducer, Nick Scarpino.
You brought up a picture of me from 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And it made me sad.
Why?
Because I was so much skinnier back then.
You got the arms now, though, dude.
I do.
Earlier
I'm
today, I was
buffer
looking
now.
over your arms, and I was like, oh, shit.
Well, I
The
worked out
Jackman-off
yesterday.
is real, and it's starting to show dividends, as they
Thank
say, or
you.
pay
I appreciate
dividends.
that. I've noticed that my I'm able to lift more now, which I'm happy about. Because all kidding aside, Jackman-off, what are you going to do, right? I'm going to win. It doesn't matter. I'm going for functional strength and movement. Like, I want to be stronger, and I want to be able to move better. So that's
opposed to.
It's just opposed. Like, when you lift, there's all sorts of benefits that you get from it, right? Like, it strengthens joints. It gives you more. You get a lot more power as far as things that I'm doing in like jiu-jitsu, things like that. So that's what I'm hoping to get out of it. And I'm already starting to notice myself get stronger, which is good. But next step is, how do I start doing steroids? At what point do I start starving myself?
So you're building up
How do I
the
look?
power tree, but next is like stealth.
Oh yeah,
then-
definitely. Yeah,
okay.
yeah. It is. It is like a video game. It's fantastic.
Over there, the pure one, at Tim Gettys.
Let him host.
Do you like the at?
Yeah,
The at got you?
Got me at the last
Because then
second.
people get you. They're going to go watch it. And then joining us for the first time on this show, Anthony Ingruber.
Hi.
Hello, Anthony. How are you?
Hey, I'm great. How are
So
you?
Straight
I'm
out of
great.
Holland.
Exactly.
straight
There's
out of
so
Holland.
much.
Crazy
I didn't
motherfucker.
tell them much about you. What I know, because now, granted, I don't know much about you other than you're a stand-up guy. You're funny. You're talented. You're the Joker and Batman right now over on the Telltale series, which everybody should be playing. Season 2 just started. It's awesome.
This came out today or yesterday?
Well, this is. But remember, you're recording in a time
sorry.
loop. This has
Okay.
been out for a long time.
People love it.
You've already won
a great
awards.
time, Captain.
You've already won a lot of awards
Yeah,
for your
trending
portrayal
gamer.
of John Doe. But yes, so when I met you through the power of the internet, through Skype. I was hosting that Telltale show about Batman. You Skyped into it.
Yeah, that's right.
You stood out to me for two reasons. Strikingly handsome, of course, number one. Just
hair.
rugged,
Hair's what
you know
got
what I mean? Talented in the video game. And then, of course, while you were Skyping, behind you, you had a giant, over your fireplace, a giant portrait of you and Harrison Ford.
That's right. it's a bit like this.
Exactly like that. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun, but the time difference was
Right.
striking.
Because that's the other thing that I didn't tell him about is that you live in Holland.
Yeah, that's right.
Who are you running from in the United States
Yeah,
that you
what
live in
happened?
Holland?
Drug
Yeah, well,
dealers?
this is live, so then there's no editing. So
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
There's a lot of people looking for this guy. But
Were you born and raised over there?
no, I was actually born in the Philippines, in Manila. My dad he's retired now, but he was an Australian diplomat for the Australian Foreign Affairs and Trade.
Yeah?
And so
Sorry, the what?
The Australian Foreign Affairs and Trade.
Foreign
Affairs.
Foreign.
Get your head out
I
of
heard
the gutter.
porn affairs. And I'm
Porn
like,
affairs
what
would
is
be
this?
a good one.
He's Ron Jeremy's attorney. But he was posted there, and I was born. No, it's the microphone.
Yeah. Here, I'm going to push you in, okay? Don't panic. There's no wheels in the chair, so I have to get very close to you.
Oh, that's good. Greg, why did you push ass first?
You got to go ass first, Nick. You know that.
Don't have to go ass first.
Have you ever watched Love and Sex Stuff? Ask first.
I have indeed.
Yeah. So
All right, anyways, back to my father.
we're
Okay,
talking about my dad, and then things took a little turn.
So you were born in the Philippines.
Yeah. And there was actually a big military coup going on when my mom was pregnant with me, and my dad was almost killed at least twice. There was a sniper taking pot shots through the office. So there's a photo of him on the phone, just like, yeah, hello, is that Canberra? And there's just, because he's Australian.
Yeah, okay.
And there's just there's just
Bullet holes?
in the
Jesus.
window. And he was in a car that got strafed by an airplane. And he put the woman's head down. This could all be bullshit. This is like stories like, yeah, you know,
He
back
worked.
in the day,
Your
I
dad
was-
worked in a
Yeah, yeah.
Foster's plant.
He's just a desk clerk, but no, but he's had a really interesting experience. But and then I was born,
Yeah.
So in this crazy time, and then I was there for a couple years, and then we moved to Canada. My accent went from a Filipino accent to really, you know, Canadian and what's going on. And then we went to Australia, and then it shifted to this. So in all the old videos, I everything's a question because in Australia everything goes up at the end. So it's like, oh, g'day, how are you? It's like, I don't know, how are you? And then we went to Cyprus, which was awesome when I was about 10. Again, my dad was working on the because I don't know if you know anything about the situation there. There was a Turkish invasion.
I know there's a hill.
Yes.
Cypress Hill, you know what I mean? Yeah, that's right, Nick.
We don't know shit about
America.
any place else other
Love it
than
or leave
our
it.
town that we live in.
Our town.
Yeah. So there was an invasion on the Turkish.
this is very
Turkish
serious.
invaded it, and so the island was split in half, the Turkish
Okay.
and the Cypriot side. And my dad was working on opening that border up because people were, when they invaded, it was really just grab whatever you got and get out. And then there were people living in those houses. So he was working hard to get those borders open so people could go there for the first time, which was really cool. And so that was my middle school years, and then we went back to Australia and then to New Zealand for high school, and that was where I started to get the thing that I wanted to be an actor, because during high school I went to a workshop that did Richard Taylor did Lord of the Rings. They did the effects and everything.
That's awesome.
And I went there, and that was like Disneyland for me. I
yeah.
looked for, Jesus, that's the gun from Hellboy. That's Aragorn's sword. You know, when you walk in, there's an orc that's like, and I was like, this is fucking great. And then I was there. I was like 17, and they were like, yes, we need some extras for Avatar. I was like, oh, what's that? Like, oh, it's this movie that James Cameron's making. It's you know, space, you know, these blue guys. I was like, okay, can I go on it? And they're like, yeah, you need to be 25. I was like, I'm 17. So like, okay, just look older. So I was just like,
Just look.
You just squinted the entire time.
and I had like this pathetic little beard, and like, yeah, it's fine. And then they went on, and so I got to go on the set for that. And that was awesome. Like I was just a kid, and I was just like, wow.
Were you on set one of the days that James Cameron was actually directing?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
How was he? How was he to be around?
There was
he's
a lot
difficult-
of tension on set. Actually,
Yeah.
there was a lot. I'd missed a lot of it, but I was there on a good day, and it was really cool. But there was stories and stuff that it was just a very stressful shoot. Just things went wrong and stuff, and there was a lot of. I mean, it was a huge budget and stuff. But
Is your role going to be recurring in Avatar 2, 3, 4, and 5?
yes, I'll be playing the ground technician, that face in the crowd, about 50 people, and I'll be making that welcome return, and people will be like, oh, there he is.
That's the guy who plays Joker.
I'm really just a shadow on the wall, but it was amazing. Like, I can see myself, although it's probably somebody else. But
Sure.
I'm convinced, you know, that's that shoulder there, that's me.
Yeah.
You know? And that was just an amazing experience. And then after that, after I graduated and stuff, I just went to Canada in Toronto.
A hotbed. You want to be a movie guy?
Yeah,
You go
I
to
tried
Canada.
getting to LA, but I couldn't get in.
Sure.
Without a body of work or anything. So I went to Toronto, which I was told was the next best thing. And I wasn't getting anything. Like I got like a toothpaste commercial in like 3 years and something. So and then my visa.
For who though? Was it Crest or Colgate?
It was like home
Sensodyne.
brand.
Oh,
home
no.
brand.
Oh, no.
It was all refreshing.
Tom's Natural.
Yeah, it was just like you know, whatever. So I had like nothing really to show for it, and my visa ran out, and I was just like, oh. So I moved back to Holland to stay with my folks for a while, and during this time though, between high school and then, what I'd been doing was YouTube impressions, because that was my creative outlet to stave off the voices in my head.
Sure, get 'em out. Get out the
like,
demons.
Somehow create something, because I wasn't getting work. So I'm like, I'm gonna just do whatever. 6 months later, like I had nothing. I was 23 and I had nothing to show for it, really. Just my earlier experiences and nothing.
How many YouTube subs?
I actually had a pretty good, decent number. Like it had grown since, like since Adeline, but it was like I had like 5,000, and my Harrison Ford impression had about 300,000 views.
Damn.
That's ballooned since.
Sure.
Which is awesome. But so I got this message that that this director, Lee Toland Krieger's making The Age of Adeline. And they were like, to play the young Harrison Ford. And I thought, what? And I was like, okay, I'm going to audition. I'm not going to get it. They're going to get, it's going to be a huge thing. I auditioned, and the director Skyped me. He's like, hey, yeah, you're in. And I was like, you're kidding me, because
but I'm the toothpaste guy.
I was like, Jesus. It turned out that he had seen in that period where I was like, I'm not getting work. What am I gonna do? What the hell am I gonna do? He and the producers had been watching all my material, and they're like, that's the guy.
Yeah.
And because he was looking at reference photos of young Harrison Ford in high school, and he's like, oh, what's this video? And he's like, oh, that's somebody doing his. So like, that was insane. And then it was like, oh yeah, go on the set, and they didn't have a script.
Oh wow! Right.
Because they didn't know what they were going to do for that. They thought it was going to be, from behind or CGI or something, like a guy who kind of looks like him. So that role was on the script was, a guy helps her to his car or whatever, helps her get into the car. And when they saw that I did the voice and everything, and how much I looked like him on the set, everyone was like, and it was really cool. It was amazing. So they were like, yeah, just improv something, like say something. And I know nothing about cars, so I'm like, what do I say?
Get off my car.
Yeah, get out of my car. No, but he's like,
that's my car.
Yeah, because there's old grumpy Harrison, and then there's younger Harrison. So I did something in the between. Like they were like, because I was like, do you want me just to do my normal voice? And he's like, no. The role is super small, so we just want to, so people are like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
So he just said like, yeah, just give me that Han Solo grin. So it was just, and it's like every time, like just really milking it, and I was just having a ball. But
we'll do something for them, because I watched Age of Adeline, and I was like, because I knew you from the Telltale stuff, and they were like, oh yeah, and then you had the picture with you and Harrison. I was like, oh okay. So then I went and watched Age of Adeline, and yeah, it's like, holy fucking shit, do you fucking do Harrison Ford?
Yeah. They screened it for people, and they said one of the questions was, how did you do the CGI to make Harrison look so young? And like the motion capture, like that was great CGI. He's like, no, that's Anthony. So it was this crazy thing. So the director was really happy with me, and the last day of the shoot, I was a nervous wreck though, because I had just YouTube, and then I'm like playing my childhood hero. So I was like, and I was in my caravan, my little trailer, and Harrison's trailer's there, and it's the size of, a house. And
as one would
and they were
assume.
like, have you met Harrison yet? And I said, no. And like, do you want to meet him? I'm like, yeah, but what if he doesn't like me or something? Like I don't know if I could process it. Like, what if he's like, well, I think this kid's no good. And they're like, no, he's seen you and he likes you. So I was like, so and he made a joke about like, yeah, he's got a weird sense of humor, which is awesome. But he made a joke about me and stuff. So I thought that was really cool. So he
what was the joke?
Yeah, what the hell?
No, I'm not. That's my own personal.
Oh, that's one for you.
That's one for me.
Okay. Okay.
So he was rapping. He was done.
Yeah.
For good. And he
I thought he was rapping.
He was rapping.
Oh,
No.
Anthony, how you doing?
He was rapping.
Have you seen
rapping.
Raiders of the Lost Ark?
Yeah. Yo. No, but so he was rapped like for good, and they were like, we got to get Anthony to meet this guy, because the crew wanted to see his reaction to meeting me. So I was really like this, like shaking. I'm meeting Harrison Ford, Jesus, and so we were in that house where they play the game. It was like, hey, what was the capital of Israel? When they're playing that game, and I was in the back of that, just like, holy shit, there he is, and the crew was like, just calm down and have a look. And so I'm waiting outside that house, and the entire crew are there with their iPhones and stuff, and I'm just like, Jesus Christ. And so everyone's piling out. Like Blake is coming out, and Blake's wonderful. She's so sweet. She's like, hey, how are you? And I was like, hi, I'm pretty good. And so
Get out of the way, Harrison Ford's coming out.
The last guy to come out, so he's literally the last person to leave. So it's just like, and then I see him, and he's looking down, because he walks the same way I do. He looks at the floor, and they're like, Harrison, huh? And they're like, this is Anthony, and he looks at me and he goes, oh, Anthony, yeah, I've heard about you. And I'm just like, Jesus. And I thought I was going to pass out, but I was like, oh, hi, how are you? And I was very professional and stuff, and I told him, though, how much he meant to me, and he was like, oh, thank you. That was very nice of you, thank you. And we took that photo, and he was just like patting me and like hugging, and I was just like, Jesus Christ. this is amazing. And then when I got home from filming, when I went back home to Holland, they'd taken that photo, because I'd sent that photo to my family, and they'd printed it and mounted it on the wall, and that was just, that was surreal for me.
That's awesome.
Just childhood hero. Like,
So do your Han Solo.
Han Solo, I'm Captain of the Millennium Falcon. Chewie tells me you're looking for a passage to the Alderaan system. A fast ship. You've never heard of the Millennium Falcon? It's a ship that made the Kessel. I can do the whole fucking
Oh man,
Like it awesome.
it is so fucking cool in the movie when you do it, when you walk up, and because it is
really-
just like, holy shit. That's
I remember actually watching that. My wife and I, it was like one of those Sunday movies where like we're gonna sit down, and I think I lost the last couple. You know when you pick movies and you don't pick the right ones, then you lose the next choice. And she's like, let's watch Age of Adeline. I was like, okay, cool. I'm a Blake Lively fan, and I remember that scene popping up, and I'm like, holy fuck, like it's almost jarring because it's spot on. And it's cool because you see it like, you know what the character's supposed to be, right? It's you know, they built up to this moment where she meets this young Harrison Ford, and obviously she doesn't age or whatever. And then you see you for the first time. You're like, it's spot on. You did a very excellent job with that.
Man. Yeah.
It was well done. Well, how was it like doing a scene with Blake Lively?
Yeah, that was. I mean, she's one of the most beautiful women in the world,
Yeah.
you know. And then my first scene partner, and all my scenes were with Blake. I didn't actually have a scene with Harrison. Like, he looks out the window, and then I'm biking past.
Right.
That was my interaction with him on screen. But so all my scenes were with Blake, and she was really, really friendly. And I met Ryan Reynolds as well.
Oh, yeah.
Which was awesome.
No big deal.
No, he was. No, I was like, what? You know, this was before Deadpool, but I was like, dude, Smoking Aces was awesome. You know, yeah. And we had, oh, come on, and he was just really awesome. But yeah, she was really friendly and really just easy to work with, and
Very
really
cool.
And we did that kissing scene.
Hell yeah, he did.
Shout out to kissing.
That's when
scenes,
Ryan
you
Reynolds
know?
was there. Just cracking his knuckles.
No, that was literally
Spinning
the
nunchucks?
day I met him.
Oh, really?
Like, and I'm like, and he's like, oh, so you're filming a scene? I'm like, yeah, we got a handshake. You know, I was just like, the next shot
all in
is
on it,
just
though, and been
his
like-
fist on my chin. But yeah, the kissing scene, we did that like 9 times, and I was just like, oops, I fucked it up. Let's do it again, you know. So, but yeah, no, it was really cool. It was really fun.
So now you're doing the Telltale thing.
Yeah, and
being Joker.
Yeah, that's the other cool thing is that
That you're the Joker. Yeah.
I know, but the thing is, like, Harrison Ford and the Joker were my childhood, right? Like, in high school, I was doing the, you know, Grady, Delbert Grady. You know, I was doing the Shining, like Jack Nicholson thing, and the Mark Hamill, you know, and that was my thing, and that was the other thing that I put on YouTube. The other video that I did, those 3 impressions of Heath, Mark, and Jack, and then, you know, lightning struck twice. Because Telltale were casting for this thing, and they saw me doing the 3 Jokers, and they thought, well, if he can do those 3, what can he come up with? You know, and you know,
So where does your Joker lie then? Like where did you?
Yeah, that was a thing, because being an impressionist, those voices are just so close to me. Like,
Right.
if I see the script, my first thought is like, you know, well, hello, beautiful, or, you know, like any of those guys, and they really didn't want me to do an impression.
Right.
So I wanted to come up with a voice that would be that could be normal almost, because they really want him to be John Doe. Everything that I do, when I read for it, they really ask me to dial everything back, like the laugh and the voice and stuff. Like, I make it very dark and very creepy, but they're like, just save that, like because they want him to become, especially in that first episode, they want him to be almost sympathetic and like a tragic hero, like tragic.
Yeah, are you
character.
familiar with how this works in the game?
No.
So in season 1, Bruce gets admitted, and this is spoilers for season 1. I don't know how many goddamn times I can tell you people to play this game. Season 1, Bruce gets admitted to Arkham as a patient.
Okay.
And so obviously Zaz is there. There's all these other crazies there. You know, the puppet guy's there. And so John Doe is there, and it's the Joker, clearly white skin, you know, green hair or whatever. And he befriends Bruce and kind of like is like looking out for him, but still doing it in like not doing it in the Joker way, doing it in the way of like. Because the game's so great at twisting everything and turning it on its head, where you're like, is it the Joker or is this guy not the Joker yet? Or can I trust him or can I not? And he's still a little bit out there, but he's not. And the doctors like him, but he's clearly fucking with them. And it's all these different things of like, it's not the Joker, but you see how it's going to become the Joker. Yeah. And by the end of season 1, again, spoilers, he gets out and like he's out there and you can see him start on that thing. And then when we played yesterday in episode 1 of season 2, he pops up again and again, still not the Joker, but clearly on that path to becoming him.
Yeah. Yeah, well, the cool thing about him is that depending on the player's choice, he'll stay your friend for a long time. Like because when you meet him, he genuinely loves Bruce Wayne. Like he's the one guy that he doesn't manipulate. I don't think. Like he manipulates everybody in season 1, like the doctors. He's like, yeah, I'm doing great, and he convinces them to release him. He doesn't escape. He gets signed out to like he's a rehabilitated person. And then there's this great moment, which was a real joy to play, where John finally opens up to somebody and he's like, I'm not doing so great. Like he doesn't like it. Like he likes the asylum and he liked the control he had. And so he finally opens up to Bruce. And playing a guy who, cuts smiles into people's faces or, electrocutes them, to play him like that was so cool because I'm such a huge fan. But to play a character that's 70 years old, but play him in a very different way was just really great. And this is really my first job, like first voiceover job. So
you're getting some good first gigs.
I'm getting some great gigs. I'm getting amazing gigs.
So what's next? What impressions do you got to put on YouTube for?
Well, the latest one I did was, Matthew McConaughey. I watched Interstellar, and I was just like, I think I can do that voice. And I was like, yeah, call up the bank and have them forward all that money to my bank account. Like if it's voice activated.
Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, so yeah, with the Joker John Doe voice, like we haven't seen the Joker yet because everything I've done has been, more serene. And the voice, I wanted to do a mix of the 3 Jokers that inspired me. So Mark, Heath, and Jack. A voice that isn't really an impression of those guys, but you can hear it. There's inflections here and there that are like, oh, that sounds a bit just like, because I love those guys. Like there are so many great Joker actors, but those 3 were my childhood. And so I wanted to sort of honor them in a way that, like, this voice, when you hear it, you're like, oh, okay, but because it has to also be almost normal. Like, it can't be like, hi, Bruce, I can't wait to see you. Like, it can't be too creepy because then you're going to be like, get the fuck away from me. So it has to be more normal, like, oh, he's okay, So that was a challenge, to make a voice that's unsettling but not overly
repulsive.
Scary.
Yeah, there's this great, like, there's all these little flare-ups with him, you know what I mean, where he, like, has that moment of, like, oh, God, is this where he's going to break? And there's a great one in episode 1 where they're at a funeral, and he shows up, and Bruce is like, why the fuck are you here? What kind of thing, you know what I mean? And he gives him a card, and it's a get well soon card or whatever, and like, the choice I made was Bruce handing back, he's like, this isn't, you don't give these kind of cards at funerals. And he does that thing where he balls it up and he's like, of course you don't, God damn it.
Yeah. Like he gets really angry at himself. Like he's like, fuck, I fucked it up.
Yeah, he's trying to be a normal person. He just doesn't know how.
He wants so much to be accepted by Bruce. Like he fucking loves him. And then he sort of goes out of his way to, like the direction I was given was a first date. Like a high school date. So like, I got you a little something, like please like it, and that was so fun to play. Like instead of just playing a creep or a psycho who would like shoot up the funeral or something, just to play this guy who's like, hi, I'm okay, like
trying to make it,
trying to fit in. Like it was really fun.
So what's it like then to go from, man, I can't book anything but this damn toothpaste ad, to then being, I've been Harrison Ford and now I'm the Joker?
My 2 childhood favorite things. It's really a huge honor just to play both of those characters, just because it's really like my 10-year-old self would be like, like there's photos of me dressed up as Indy, when I'm like 6, and then there's drawings I did of in my school books of ha 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 ha, the smile, and it's just nuts, that they trust me, because I am a complete newcomer both to Adeline and Joker, and that's a huge role. So they trust me to do a good job. So
did you, or are you over like imposter syndrome, where you're like I can't imagine like doing an impression of Harrison Ford, sure, and then all right, cool, you're cast in this movie, you're playing young Harrison Ford. I can't imagine there's gotta be that awesome. And you hang up and just, oh fuck, like I'm gonna walk on set and I'm gonna meet Harrison Ford and I'm gonna be around these real professional people who do this.
Yeah, that is there, and that's still something that I'm just because everything is very new.
Oh yeah,
and it's always like nothing. Suddenly, big stuff. I'm on the set with Troy, you know. So and I was a huge fan of Troy. Like I remember playing BioShock Infinite, and I called my agent from Toronto. I was like, "Can you get me into video games?" And he's like, "No." So it really is. It's overwhelming, but it's also just a huge, you know, like keep going, Anthony.
Yeah,
you know, like, keep going. You know, and it's great that I'm given the chance. I'm just hugely grateful.
How old are you?
27.
God fucking damn
I know, so talented, so young, so beautiful.
It drives me crazy.
Doesn't know what he has. Won't know until it's gone.
We'll take it away
Are you
from him.
planning on staying in Holland then?
They call it the Hollywood of Holland.
Well, the thing
Hollywood
about
of
Holland actually had a very big film industry right before World War II. It got bombed to shit, unfortunately. But yeah, I definitely I'm hoping that this is going to segue me into becoming a resident here and taking off, because there's not really a huge thing in Holland, and I do feel that like I got cast 1 in a million chance of the director himself seeing me on YouTube, and the same with Joker. You know, I didn't get like an audition reel and like that one. It was really like a call in the middle of the night, like, can you read for this? So I got very lucky with both, and I would like to do it the more traditional way, so I can just, you know, settle in and take off. But yeah, from Holland, it's very difficult.
Yeah, you got to get out of there.
I am trying. Are you single?
No, I just brought in somebody else through immigration. I can't keep doing it. They'll red flag my papers if I keep doing it. The one thing I want to, before we wrap up this topic that wasn't a topic but has become a topic of what's it like to play Han Solo and the Joker, I want to point out that I was talking about all the things I knew about you beforehand. What I want is that you are a genuinely awesome human being, because after we met through Skype, every few weeks you'll hit me up on DM and just be like, hey man, what's going on?
Yeah,
I was like, nothing, playing these games. How are you? Oh, I'm good too. All right, well, see you later.
Yeah.
And
I like it. I think I was honestly, I remember messaging some people because you had me on for that podcast.
Yeah.
And I thought, this guy's gonna rip me apart. Like I thought like this guy, he might be a bit of a dick to me. Like I was really like
kind of a dick
like
sometimes.
I was like these guys, like I was like, oh Jesus, I'm the new kid. They're gonna be like, so who the fuck are you? But you were so gracious to me, and I was just like, fuck, I totally misjudged you. I was so scared going onto that podcast. I was like, oh man, they're gonna throw some barbs. But it was so great. Like I was just like, dude, this guy's such a good guy.
if you had shit the bed as the Joker, we would have had words. But you did great, and I'm excited for where it's going.
Thanks, dude. But yeah, it was awesome. So I was just like, oh, Greg, what you doing? You know, and you were like, oh, if you're in San Fran, you should come by. I'm like, yes, please. Like, you know, I need to get there.
And then you made it. And here we are.
Yeah. So
if you didn't know, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Game Over Greggy show. Each and every week, 4, sometimes 5 best friends gather on this table. Each bring a random topic of discussion for your amusement. If you like that, head over to patreon.com/kindafunny, where you can get each and every episode early. How early, Nick?
Topic by topic.
No, so early you can watch it live as we record it, like so many of you are doing right now at the dollar level. Thank you. Every dollar counts. However, if you don't want to get it early, whether it be as we record it, wait, will you bring Anthony more water?
oh yeah, that'd be great. Thank you.
Can you also get me another LaCroix from the fridge?
Do you want wine or beer or anything? We all have
seventh
bourbon
today.
too. No.
Well, if anyone else is having some, I'll.
What do you want?
Some bourbon out for the table?
Yeah. Okay. Sure. Can we get a bowl of ice too? Sure. Cool Greg will help too.
I have to get Cool Greg to help me out with this.
Exactly. Of course. Now it's become a thing. Do you think you could, Nick? While you're up, could you walk down to Taco Bell and get some of them chicken nacho things, like the fried?
Just make a list and we'll go.
Can we go to Whole Foods?
I'm staying a couple streets down. I left with jacket there.
If you don't want to give us any money, it's no big deal. Head over to youtube.com/kindafunny, where you can get the show topic by topic, day by day, until it goes up as one big video in MP3 the following Friday. Topic number 2, Tim, will be yours. But first, thank you to all these beautiful people who supported us on Patreon to make this happen.
You sure you don't want to do the other one? I feel like it's a good segue.
You want to? Or is that too much there?
I like it.
You want to do that?
Yeah.
Are we still doing yours?
I don't know. We'll play it by ear.
Okay,
I
fine.
want to talk about. I'm antsy to talk about.
Number 2? What,
Yeah.
well, originally
The
2
OG
was?
number 2.
Fine then. Topic number 2 goes to you, Anthony Ingruber.
Oh, my topic. Okay, yeah. Are we waiting for?
Nick will catch
He'll
up.
come through.
Nick, here's the thing.
We've talked about DC.
Even
a
if Nick
lot.
was sitting here, he'd be half on, half off. You
Right.
don't know what he hears, what he doesn't. You know what I mean?
Okay. Well, this is kind of a hacky question.
It's not a hack. Stop
but I
doing
figured,
this. Don't cut yourself down before you go.
I figured it would be appropriate. I wanted to know. You guys have probably talked about this before, but how do you feel about the DC universe on the big screen?
We've talked about it before, and we'll talk about it again.
I will talk
There
your
are a lot
ear
of
off about
feelings
it. I will talk
here.
your ear off about it. Let's lay the groundwork first, though. Okay, before we can get into that, there's one question that'll set it all up. Anthony, what do you think of Batman v Superman?
Okay, there are problems with it,
Yeah.
but I will say the warehouse fight scene and thank you very much. And this the scene where Batman and Superman square off
Yeah.
were awesome.
Yes.
And also I loved Ben Affleck as Batman.
Hell yeah.
And I think Henry is a great Superman.
Agreed.
And I think there were just some moments in there, like some plot things that I was like, and some stuff that I was like, but there were so many moments in there, like the way it's shot. I like Zack Snyder. Watchmen is one of my favorite Superman
in good
superhero
company.
films.
Yeah,
of
we all like
time.
Watchmen here, yeah.
Watchmen was great, and he knows how to frame a shot and how to use music, and so I think cinematically I enjoyed it, and I thought that
Would you say it's a good movie? Would you say the internet has
being
been
let
too
down
harsh?
right now.
I think
Would you
I
say
think
the internet's
it got,
been too
it got
harsh?
slighted a lot.
I agree with that 100%.
It got really rammed.
If you had to watch one all day long
Mm-hmm.
for an entire day, Batman v Superman or The Dark Knight Rises, which one would you choose? Because that's what he's
Yeah,
driving
that's the thing.
at right now.
Like again, The Dark Knight Rises, I loved it, but again, there were parts that I didn't like. You
Right.
know, and it's
'Cause
I'm
it's a
not
bad
I'm not
movie.
going to be like, "Wow, yeah, that one was amazing and that one's crap." Because with everything, there's stuff that I like, some stuff I didn't like, and I tried to merit it. Like, if there's a part in any movie where I was like, "That was great," then I'm like, "Yeah, I enjoyed it." If it's like, "Oh, I didn't like this, so I hate it," but I mean that fucking warehouse scene, and I think Ben Affleck, The Dark Knight Returns. Batman, Frank
Yeah.
Miller's Batman, is my favorite.
Yeah.
It's my favorite story. And Ben Affleck is very much how I envisioned him to look, with that chin and that really like
Stocky Batman.
that burl, like taking a guy out with one punch. More so than Bale. Like, I like Christian Bale, especially him as Bruce Wayne, but his Batman was very much, you know,
Sure.
Karate.
all this stuff. Whereas Affleck is just bam, like, you know, and like put a guy in a hospital. And I thought that was just very comic accurate.
And that's what I like the different one about it. And we did a topic here recently about, all right, you know, there's been this hullabaloo. How long is Ben Affleck going to be Batman? What's going to happen with all this different stuff? We did a topic about like, well, if we had to recast it, what do we do? Who's going to be one of our Batman?
I saw that.
And I called you out. I
saw
said
that.
you'd be
I
a good
thought,
Batman,
my
Bruce
God.
Wayne, because I think you'd be the one that I'm picturing. Because we've already had so many different Batmen, right? I'm ready for a more grounded, real take on him of a dude, right? Like, not yacked out of his mind,
Yeah.
and he's in a suit and he's got the flashlight in his mouth and he's going through files and he's being a detective.
Yeah,
you could pull
I mean,
it off really well.
I think, Troy, I think in this game does it also very beautifully.
Yeah.
There's such a distinct switch between his Bruce Wayne persona and his Batman persona, and I think that's the most important thing, because it's essentially three personalities. You got the public Bruce Wayne, who's a guy dresses up like a bat, clearly has issues, and then there's the Alfred, my parents are dead, and then there's, you know, why do you want to kill me? So there's three. You know,
I got all those were Bale. I like
those
that.
are all Bale.
Those are
Yeah.
your three shades of
I don't know
Bale.
why. 3 shades. But like
of Bale.
Keaton was also amazing. Just like his, like, you know, how he just whispered.
Right.
And it was unsettling. I
Yeah.
loved it. Like, he was scary.
If you had to pick one, and I know you're not a fan of picking.
Yeah, I don't
Keaton
like
or
picking
Bale?
people. Yeah,
Bale.
I go.
It's because you were too young to
think I'd go
understand
with
how
Keaton.
important
I
Keaton
think
was.
I'd go with Keaton.
Keaton.
I think just because it is so comic book. Like, I love the Gotham City in Tim Burton's.
Sure.
That is a character in itself. And I mean, the thing is that Bale's Batman wouldn't work in that universe. Same as Heath's Joker.
Sure.
It's too real, and that's why Nicholson worked perfectly in the Burton movies, because he was a cartoon character, you know. And then Heath took it to a very grungy, scary state, and that's why these movies, I sort of value them as their own thing. I don't like mix and match or whatever.
Right.
I mean, I agree with everything that you said about Batman v Superman. I think I can totally stand behind. It's just the thing of when you look at it as a movie.
Yeah.
It's like that's when
fair.
it kind of falls apart,
Yeah, that's
especially
fair.
when you're looking at it as a movie that has to be part of this bigger universe and where it falls into it, especially when we've seen Marvel do that same thing. So you're kind of judging against what is popularly viewed as a successful model, and I feel like in that regard it fails, because it reminds me of everyone shits on the Transformers movies for good reason. Transformers 2, the forest fight, I love it. Like there's certain scenes that I'm like, I fucking love it.
Yeah.
But then it's like, oh, but Optimus would never act the way he does in every other scene or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's where it's like with Batman, Ben Affleck is Batman. I fucking am all about it. It's just Ben Affleck in this world doing the things he did with all these other
Killing
things
people
going
and
around.
stuff.
I'm like, oh, I don't know. about
Yeah,
this.
yeah, I appreciate that, and I understand. I mean, I just see it, for me with films, like films were something that, growing up the way I did, where it was really just like 3 years in one country, and then, hi, I'm Anthony. Hey, I'm starting to get to like you. I gotta go. So I didn't have, I've got friends now, like lifelong friends from those experiences, but that was always very tough on a kid. So what I did have was films, and that was really my childhood, and that's where the impressions and stuff comes from. But so if I enjoy a movie, like if I enjoy part of a movie, even if I don't like the whole thing, then I'm like, yeah, I enjoyed it, And I'm not a film critic or anything. I'm not saying like, oh, it was amazing because of that one scene. But I just take it from the enjoyment.
Sure.
From something, like I'm not gonna be like, oh, that movie was terrible. Although I did have a good time, So it's like if you had a good time, and that's why cult films are so popular. Like The Room.
Yeah.
Terrible movie, but I fucking love it.
Did you see the preview for the?
I want to see it.
God,
Disaster
so badly.
Artist. That looks
Yeah.
fantastic.
You do
So
another
good.
good impression of that too, don't you? The Tommy Wiseau. You and Troy were doing it
Yeah,
yesterday.
we were
We were
doing it
playing the
yesterday.
game and they were chirping back and forth.
Have you seen how many times? Like, the greatest thing is like when people point out what's wrong with it, because when you watch it, you're just like, what the fuck? But then people point out how many times, oh hi Mark, or like, oh hi, it's like 14 times in the movie. Yeah. Everything is oh hi, or when she says, I don't want to talk about it. Like she says that like 12 times or something. Like she'll just be like, I don't want to talk about it.
I love that. It reminds me of Nick.
And your
Anytime,
future husband.
Nick Scarpino wrote a script.
Right.
If one out of every 3 lines starts with wait, blah 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 blah.
I love that. How people
every
talk,
time,
man.
Wait, so no.
You gotta write what you
this
know.
happened. I love it.
Write what you know.
You gotta write what you know.
Nick knows how to wait.
The Room is one of those interesting films. There's a bunch of old theaters in San Francisco that are like the old school, like you walk in, it's the lobby, and then there's 2 doors that go into the theater. It's very old school historic theaters. One of which is the Clay up in Peck Heights. They had Heel Kick was there last time Danny was in town, and they play The Room. I shit you not, once a month. And I drive every once in a while. I'll stop off at a coffee shop near a Starbucks right across the street from it.
A local San Francisco
a
coffee
local
shop.
delicacy. And I'll see it. And I'm like, one of these days, I really should see that movie. But you're in for just an hour and a half of pain. Like there's no redeemable qualities in this. No, it's not.
It's delightful.
terrible.
I love it. I'm a
and you know what's
sadist.
sad about it is that it actually, because that movie got such a bad rap, I still haven't watched Room with Brie Larson.
That movie's awesome.
I know. It's on my Amazon
You
Prime
wouldn't want to have the same billing as
I'm
like
not
the
trying to
same
equate
name.
the two, but in my
no,
mind, for
but
some
like as
reason,
an
it's-
actor, you wouldn't want to be in The Room. Oh, but it's a different room because everyone's
Yeah.
like, oh, I heard it's terrible, and you're talking about a completely different movie.
That was what I heard when I first went when Room came out and was getting buzz. This is like I think last year sometime. And people were like, "You got to see Room," and I'm like, "I thought that movie was supposed to be terrible."
Yeah, I was confused
I thought it was
too.
some weird
As soon as you just
resurgence.
said this, I didn't realize they were different movies.
They were 2 different
You'd
movies.
think like the marketing people would point out, like, by the way, there's one of the worst movies ever made, and it's called that. So maybe we should call it. Maybe we should call it like a little room or
Yeah.
a big room
Well,
or
okay, so
or
that's
like
what happens when you
instead
base
of
shit on a
other
book.
room.
The other room.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the other
The
room.
good room.
not
Yeah,
that room.
The good room.
Yeah.
The good room. Yeah, it's one of those things. The Disaster Artist looks fucking amazing.
Yeah, it
though.
does look
That's one
pretty
of those
cool.
great.
Apparently, the book is just fantastic. Like
I love that
the
though.
guy
I don't
who
know
wrote
what it is about stories about train wrecks that I find so fascinating.
Do you know the Island of Dr. Moreau?
Yes, I was just about to bring up
Yes.
that documentary.
I don't know this story.
This is fantastic.
There's a documentary. I believe it's on Netflix still. Kevin, can you look that up? I forget the name of it. Just type in Island of Dr. Moreau Netflix. Anyway, it talks about the making of The Island of Dr. Moreau, starring Val Kilmer and
Marlon Brando. Was this
right?
his last movie? Is that right?
One of it. Yeah, this was when he was just completely gone.
Yeah, I
And
feel like
was-
he did his Nero movie afterward about
Okay.
trying to steal a rod or something like that. It doesn't matter. It's so fascinating though because it started this cult director, and I forget the guy's name.
He's a French guy. I think.
Yeah, he has.
Leave it to the French.
He
I don't think it's on there.
might not be on there anymore. Can you look up the title of it? Just type in Island of Dr. Moreau documentary.
Okay, I will.
Just figure that out. It's worth watching. It's worth the walk. Anyway, long story short is this guy had done some cool this is like mid 80s I want to say, mid to late 80s. Had done some interesting like indie films and some music videos and stuff like that. And they're like, hey, we want to give you this project that's been in the works for a while, Island of Dr. Moreau. And he was like, cool, I love that. That's a great thing for me to sink my teeth into. And then it becomes this classic tale of he started production on it, right? And every single decision they could have made
Went wrong.
was wrong.
And
Was the
then-
wrong choice. They start talking about this. And there it is, Lost Souls, the Doom Journey of Richard Stanley's Island of Dr. Moreau. Richard Stanley is the director. And then once Marlon Brando got involved, it went from bad to worse. And then Val Kilmer got involved.
took it to another level.
And
though.
just because
He
they-
always does,
they
doesn't
was-
he?
they
But the
fucking hated
stories,
everyone. Ugh.
the stories of the way Kilmer was behaving.
Is
He was like
deplorable.
physically fighting people on the set because he was going through a divorce. And Brando, there was this amazing quote where he's like, "I think you're mistaking paycheck with your talent," and he just flipped out like it was just, and they just wouldn't talk to each other, so they had to have a liaison between, and they wouldn't leave. There was a story because they were filming in the tropics and it gets very hot.
Yeah.
and
Oh,
those
yeah.
extras, like the thing about that movie is the creature effects. Stan Winston did them, so everything looks great. Like the extras are all, because they're supposed to be like half human, half animals. So they got this amazing makeup on, but they were waiting for hours and hours and hours because they refused to come out of their trailer, Marlon and Val, because they just hated each other so much. Good
Lord.
And
It's
so it was just people
deplorable.
were like passing out and stuff, and then just the stories. It's just like it's better than the movie. Just the stories.
Far better than the movie.
Yeah.
The movie was a train wreck, and you can see why. It's fascinating. As a child, I watched that because I was a huge Val Kilmer fan, obviously coming off of like Top Gun,
Batman Forever.
Batman Forever, which at the time I was like, I don't know why I should like this. I don't, but I still love Val Kilmer, right?
It's boiling acid.
Thank you for that.
Oh, Jesus.
He had done The Ghost in the Darkness,
the
things
Batman
like
smile.
that. The I just shit my pants smile. you know
But
what I'm talking
Nicole
about.
Kidman's fantastic. I love Nicole. You don't like Nicole?
And Nicole
like Nicole
Kidman's
Kidman?
fantastic. It's just anyone that had to do with any of those Joel Schumacher movies. They burned a bridge in my brain. But no, I mean, like coming off of that, I wanted to like this movie. I was like, this is really cool looking, and it's like remote. And then you watch it when you're a kid, and you're like, wow, that was just
Yeah, I love.
terrible.
Really,
I thought it was
terrible.
cool.
As a
I just
kid?
could
As
not
a
get into it.
kid, I saw it as a
because it
kid.
was like, it was just when I was forming kind of what my idea of a good or bad movie was supposed to be, and I was like, I don't get this. It's weird. It's terrifying. It doesn't make any sense. And then seeing why that is like 20 years later, and
Have you
having
watched-
this documentary made.
Oh, now you're talking about this one again.
Well, I haven't seen it since I saw it probably on VHS. I saw it in the theaters, and then of course, when I was a kid, anything I saw in the theaters, I immediately watched it and rented again.
Were
on
we talking about
VHS.
Forever now, or we're talking about Monroe?
I'm talking about Moreau.
Okay, just
no,
make
no,
sure.
Forever's not that bad.
Okay, that's
Forever-
where I think
Forever, I get-
we jumped tracks and we were like, what the
Yeah,
fuck?
yeah.
We'll fight you over Batman Forever.
I apologize. Batman Forever, okay film.
Yeah.
The only reason
Especially
I-
when we were kids.
As
Yeah,
a kid,
yeah,
I saw that shit in the
Um,
theater, and I was like, ah.
It's like, oh, Robin, it could be me. If my parents died
Like
and
a
I was
20
isn't it
23
okay?
years old.
32-year-old guy who's an orphan, and
It's an okay film when you don't compare it to the two films that came before it. If there had never been an '89 and Batman Returns, if there had never been a
if
Tim
it was
Burton
just
verse,
the Adam West, because I see it more like a return to the Adam
It
West.
Well, that's
is.
what Schumacher did.
It
Yeah,
is.
what
and
he said he was
I
doing.
appreciate it for that, but just the Nicholson shit is just like.
well, the
that's
first two films are beautiful. They're
Beautiful,
classics at this
yeah.
point, and it's one of those things we talked about all the time. Where I watched the '89 Batman. That was probably the movie I've seen most in theaters. I remember distinctly 3 weekends in a row
never
making
saw
my
it in
mom
the
take me
theater.
back to to a theater to see that. And we're talking like this movie was shot so dark at certain points that legitimately you couldn't tell what was going on. Like the whole Belfry scene, I was just like, I don't know what's happening. I have to see it again to figure it out. And I watched it, I was like, that's still nothing.
Yeah.
Like it's actually like one of those things they had to go back and post process it to up the brightness of it because people couldn't know what the fuck was going on. All black suit, everyone's wearing black. There's even a black dude. Like you can't see what's going on most of the time. But then you get the Joel Schumacher movies. Actually, I'm sorry. Then you get Batman Returns. I was like, it's not Batman 89.
That was a reason for Schumacher, actually, because kids were crying. And McDonald's pulled out of advertising because of Penguin. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Huge controversy that Penguin was so sexual. Like,
Oh, yeah,
I got
yeah.
a pussy on my bed. And they were like, this is like, we got a kid.
Let me put a button on it.
We got a kid's meal with this guy on it. So they were really, there was a huge thing. So when it came to Schumacher, they were like, we need to dial it back for kids. We need to give it for kids. And that was, there was also another documentary about the making of Batman with Schwarzenegger.
Oh, Batman and Robin.
Yeah. And he was like, people were ripping out designs because they were giving it to the Chinese markets to make molds for toys. So they had these unfinished prototypes and like, yep, that's good. And then they were shoving the shit out for kids to buy. And then everything had to be like what's her name? Uma Thurman was like, Joel would scream out over a megaphone, remember, this is for kids. It's a toys commercial. And so that was the direction. So everything had to be for kids. And then
I remember McDonald's went hard on Batman and Robin.
Yeah.
Kevin had all the cups. Those like clear plastic cups that everyone had.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, there was I forget where I read it, but they were talking about how the execs at McDonald's couldn't figure out. Like I think it was Tim Burton was saying it. Maybe it was on IMDb trivia. I have no fucking idea where I read half this shit. But they were talking about how there was a paradigm shift when it came to Returns, and that he was like, it was the first time anyone was asking like, why is there black stuff coming out of Penguin's mouth?
Yeah.
And like that's disgusting. And do we need that? And that's when he knew he was like, I'm not gonna do the next one of these. Like it's just too much.
I don't want to justify my vision.
Well, this movie's not about the vision anymore. Now it's about mass marketing, which is what. And then Joel Schumacher was like, I will sell out for that.
I'll put
very
nibbles on
easily.
everything.
Everything will have nibbles.
Everything needs nipples.
that was apparently because of Greek god statues. That was his reasoning for that. Like, those classic.
Yeah,
They were like,
sure.
But I was like,
They also had dicks though. So
Yeah, I know.
I'm just putting that out there. If like
yeah, I know. That's
maybe you think that was like
Follow
costume
through
version
with
1.1.
that.
They're like, I'm fine with the nipples, but
Get rid of the
his
dick.
little doink doink down there can't.
Doinkers!
Doink doink.
No.
Kevin, everybody loves doinkers. It's taken off. Stay out of its
Who
way.
likes it? It's scary.
Taken off.
Kevin,
It's taken off, man. You doink doinks.
Oh man. Yeah, I miss those early films, but anyway, going back on that long road, when I watched The Island of Dr. Moreau, I was like, this movie is fucking horrible, and then going back and seeing why is very, very fascinating. And then you start to look at that and go, that has to be what happened to all of these films that I don't like. And so when you see a bad film, watch this documentary and then go and watch for films like Transformers or things like that, and you'll understand why these movies just don't come together.
But I mean,
very well.
Transformers isn't that bad. That's the thing.
I
People
remember
hate on-
liking it when I saw it. I was like 17 when the first one came out with Shia LaBeouf, and I enjoyed it. I was like, oh, that was fun.
I mean, Transformers
and
1
then walking out of the theater,
makes sense.
people were like, what was the tagline for that? You'll believe in something like
Magic.
things are bigger. Things
more
are
than meets the eye.
yeah. Like I remember so well. This is imprinted. I was like, that was pretty good. And she's like, more like less meets the eye. Like people were just ripping on it, and I was like, I thought it was okay. Like
Well, the first Transformer was a standalone okay movie.
Exactly.
I'm
It was a
talking-
standalone okay movie.
I'm talking
I can
about the
stand by
last.
that.
I
the
haven't
last
seen
three.
any of the other ones.
The one with Mark Wahlberg.
Here we go.
The first time Mark
Age
Wahlberg
restrictions.
was in there.
You think your impressions are good?
That was
Hit
the
it.
fourth.
Hey, I'm Mark Wahlberg. Is that Optimus Prime? I don't know. Everything's green. Say hi to your mother for me. Somebody bring me something to drink. Maybe I'm thirsty. I don't know. He just does that all the time.
Do you do?
There's a Reddit
do you
thread
do,
about how much
the
one guy likes
Shyamalan- The what is it? The Happening? What? No.
The trees. It's the trees. They're coming after us. How do we fight trees? Does anyone know how to fight trees? Google it.
The
I don't know.
Happening is a movie that I put on that list of like, it's so bad. Like The Happening is one of the worst movies I've ever seen, but I love it so goddamn much because of Mark Wahlberg. It's like, what are you doing?
It seems like it's actually a good story on paper, like trees because they're everywhere, and if they turn on you, but translating to I'm sorry. I'll just fucking drink.
No,
but I
it's
just think,
true.
like it's something that Stephen King would come up with.
Yeah.
Give him enough, time. Like that sounds like something that Stephen King would write. Like trees. They're everywhere. What if they turn again? But translating it to film, it doesn't really work because they're running from the wind.
Yeah.
Right.
And they're supposed to build suspense, but they're just running from nothing.
Well, what I like about it is that they attribute it to and see, again, this is me
Global
going back,
warming.
glorifying it because I've thought about this movie way more than I should have, which
you
I
have.
guess it did its job. But it's like the movie's not about the trees attacking. The movie's about the fact that they think it's the trees attacking, but they don't know what's actually happening.
Right.
And I enjoy that. I feel like by the end of it, they fucked it all up. But it's just, I like the idea that they're running from the wind, but that could have not been the enemy.
Yeah.
Like that's an interesting idea. But when it's Mark Wahlberg running from the wind, it
thing
just turns
is-
into a comedy.
So
It
the
is-
thing
it
is,
is kind of funny.
Mark Wahlberg, I love Mark Wahlberg, first of all. But it's just going back to that Transformer movie, it was just, he just was up against the wall in that one, right? I feel like that was just, they were just setting him up for failure right off the bat. And then that movie
And a huge
just
$1 million paycheck.
makes... Oh, I'm
Poor
sure,
guy.
I'm sure Mark
no,
Wahlberg
but
doesn't
yeah,
give
but
a
the thing
fuck.
is that like he did that because he was being typecast as in The Departed and as playing like a tough guy, and he said like I want to play a teacher or something, so he did like the exact opposite of what he was always doing. So
Gotcha.
that's why he acted like that. Like that
You're
was
talking
what
about
he-
In the Happening?
yeah.
Oh, okay, I thought you were
Yeah.
talking because I was like in Transformers, he plays the tough
He's
guy.
Mark
who's-
Wahlberg.
At
Oh,
some
no,
point,
no, I
like,
mean, The Happening,
yeah.
like, that's
I mean,
why.
again, I have the utmost respect for Mark Wahlberg. Like, if you don't realize it, like Mark Wahlberg, executive produced Ballers,
Entourage.
and he does Entourage. Like
Yeah.
he makes great. Him and Peter
Yeah,
Berger,
no,
like
he's
homies. They make great content.
guy, yeah.
It's just. When you see him in a movie, he's a ridiculous human being to begin with. You see him in a movie like Transformers 4, whatever it was, and the movie makes zero sense. And all it is, at one point in the movie, the entire third act is just them slow-mo jumping from one part to the other and then grabbing a gun and shooting at fucking nothing.
And
And,
who
then another
knows what?
Transformer comes over. And it's just like, what
It's not even another
happened here?
Transformer. It's just this other fucking weird ass mechanical thing. Like
Something.
they're not even Transformers
They're not
at
even
that
Transforming
point.
anymore.
Age
If
of
anyone
Extinction.
wants to.
Transformers 4 was so bad because it doesn't have the moments you're talking about.
Okay.
It doesn't have the one scene that's like it's a horrible movie, but there's that one thing.
Right.
It didn't have.
Which
that
one was the
at
one
fucking
where
all?
was it the first one where that has that dope ass scene on the in the highway where Optimus like
That's 3.
transforms and flips and just goes like bang and takes like shoulders something out of the fucking.
Well, it's not Optimus, but in Transformers 3 has the highway.
Oh, that's
scene.
fine. That was
fucking
a cool
awesome.
scene.
And Transformers 2 has the 4th scene, and it's fucking great. But Transformers 1 through 3, 1 is an okay movie, 2 and 3 are not.
No.
But they have enough moments that I'm like, all right, cool.
Sure.
They're fun.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like
4
the
sucks.
whole point for films is entertainment, right? Oh,
Get him on there. Kevin will come over here and
The Oasis.
box your ears back.
And after all, so yeah, like the whole point is like if you took something away from it that you enjoyed, then the film did its job. It doesn't have to be Citizen Kane or Apocalypse Now, but if you left there saying I enjoyed that, then it did its job.
But see, I don't know about that because Batman v Superman is a perfect example for me where I enjoyed Batman v Superman. There are scenes in it that I loved and was very entertained by. I left that theater being entertained, but I expected more. I don't expect Citizen Kane, but I expect The Dark Knight.
That's fair. That's fair.
I like. There's like a level that like we deserve at this point where it's like at the
But
very
even
least,
Marvel
I
doesn't
expect-
give us the
I
Dark Knight.
Okay, fine, but it's Batman though. We've already gotten a Batman.
That's
story.
fair.
We've never gotten a Marvel story that good, right? But we've gotten a
Thor
Batman
2,
story.
The Dark
Nope, no. We got a Batman story
Iron
that
Man
good.
was pretty awesome.
It was, but it's not the Dark Knight. But my
Can you
thing
do an
is-
Obadiah Stane? Can you do a Jeff Bridges?
Tony.
Yeah, I love Jeff Bridges,
You
but
do a great draft, Bridges. Give me another one. Give me
Do it
some more
again?
lines.
Oh, seeing as how this show is just turning into the Troy Show where we just talk about whatever. I love it. This is great. I'm having a great time. Watched The Vanishing last night. You ever seen this movie?
Vanishing, with
Can you help me? It's a foreign film. Jen ran into it through the internet where I think on Reddit she saw Stanley Kubrick said this was the creepiest, scariest, like gave him the spookies more than any other movie, more than any of his movies,
Really?
right? Yeah, and so we put it on and watched it, and it's a foreign film. I forget they're going to France. I think I want to say they're coming from Holland, but maybe it's just on the tip of my tongue right now.
what's it about?
The guy and his girlfriend are driving through France or whatever. They stop at a gas station. She disappears.
So I think they remade that into
Exactly.
Kiefer Sutherland.
They did remake it into
Yeah,
Kiefer Sutherland because
yeah.
we watched it and we were like, oh, that was good. It wasn't at all what I thought it was going to be.
Right.
Because I had it in my head it was going to be like the Kurt Russell one where his wife gets abducted by the truckers.
Right.
Yes, that's a great movie. I love Kurt.
We just
Taken.
talked about that the other day.
no. It's
Highway to
Breakdown.
Hell.
Breakdown. Yeah.
Breakdown. I thought it was gonna be like breakdown or whatever, and be like this like suspense, what's gonna happen kind of thing. And it is, but it isn't. Anyways, then Jen was like, it got remade, and we're like, okay, cool. This is the original one, yeah.
Right.
Rex and Saskia, and then this is the other one, the 1993 remake in
that's
America.
right.
Jeff Bridges,
You wanna know,
Kiefer
you
Sutherland.
wanna know. That's right, I've
seen
And
that.
it's on.
That's awesome, yeah.
I believe it's if not
Nancy
her first.
Travis, that's right.
If
have
not her
seen that.
first film, one of her first, it's Sandra Bullock. She's the woman who she vanishes. And it's one of those, we watched the trailer for it, and it's like funny to watch a movie, because like literally we finished the original and then watched the trailer for this one. Would have bought it probably if it was available to rent right there, but I need like stars or whatever. Anyways, though, it was Jeff Bridges, and that made me think of Jeff Bridges, because I like Jeff Bridges
So
a
here we
lot.
are.
Yeah, Jeff
so-
Bridges is a fucking G.
He is a fucking G.
Kiefer Sutherland as Big Boss. What do you think?
No.
No.
Really?
No.
Oh, I could see that.
No. He
is.
What happened?
played
You played
in
it. You played it.
Metal
Metal
Gear
Gear Solid
I thought
5.
you meant any live action.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay.
Oh, no.
Did you like it?
Interesting.
You didn't like it?
I love Metal Gear Solid 5.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was a weird move to audible to Kiefer Sutherland here when
Yeah.
we've had David Hayter for so long, and he's been so great, and he is Snake.
Peter
and it's-
is Snake.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing, is that it's when you think of Nicholas or Nicholson or you think of
Yeah,
Ledger
yeah, there
being
is-
the
there is
Joker,
that.
you can't exactly. You can't just like make anyone
Don't
whoever
give
the
him
fuck you
shit.
want.
I don't know why everyone gives Jared Leto so much shit as the Joker.
I know it annoys people, so I shout it out. I liked his interpretation.
I
fine.
thought it was
It's
good
fine.
too.
That shit was fine.
I've seen
But no,
a
but
lot of
anyway,
Jokers in my day.
Solid Snake is a character because of the voice, and I
Right.
think that when you change that, especially when you make it a celebrity, it takes away from it. Especially when there's all the other fuckery.
Well, the
that
thing
that
is, he
game went
didn't
through.
actually do that much. Like there was,
Which is the
like,
biggest-
I
that's
like,
not what
I
Snake
like,
is?
I like for publicity, because I know that Kiefer had a huge, paycheck for that.
Oh, sure.
But David Hayter, like, I grew up with David Hayter, but I also really liked Kiefer Sutherland.
Fuck yeah, Lost Boys.
Like, I just like that scene. We'll make diamonds from their ashes, take them into battle with us. Like he had a cool voice, but like Hater was also very, Snake. Well,
What do you think that
Metal Gear
Kiefer
Solid.
Sutherland thought when he got about halfway through that script? Do you think he's like, I don't know what
I
the
don't think
fuck?
he's-
I think
didn't
I
have
didn't
much
know
to
what
say
the
at all.
story was about. Like I Metal Gear Solid 5, like I was like, what was it about? Like Ocelot is supposed to be a sadist, and then he was the guy who was calming down Kaz.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, this guy is supposed to shoot out his eye and everything. Like, and then he just had this personality shift. Like that game. Like I'd played all of them. Like,
To be fair, Ocelot has had quite the change over.
But
games.
and the guy's like a quadruple agent. Like
Yeah.
he works for everybody. He
Yeah.
works for the Filipino government as well. Like probably. But I couldn't tell you what the plot of that game was.
It was about language and how it's a barrier for all of us.
There was
For
Metal
everyone else.
Gear Surreptitious. What was it called?
Oh, you're right. It was
Superfluous.
something like that.
What was
Oh.
Seraphinitis or whatever.
It's definitely one that I couldn't pronounce. I know exactly what you're talking
Yeah.
about at the very end. I'm like, yeah, okay, that's
it? Kevin, what was it?
I'll look it up.
Thanks.
No, that
It's gonna bug
was. I mean, for me, it's just Metal Gear Solid 5. What a great fucking game! So much
Yeah.
fun to play.
It was fun,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? And like great on that level. And okay, this is awesome. The customization, the hours and hours of replayability. But what a fucking shitty end to Kojima helming it because of the way he gets him and Konami and the way it all comes apart and what maybe should have been the final chapter or whatever. That game that never got made.
Philanthropist.
And
Yeah.
there it is.
they
Thank
cut
you.
it. They
How
cut
did
it
you
all
forget?
out.
And
could you
then
forget that
the
one?
idea of like, yeah, that like, all right, cool, we're getting one more Metal Gear game. It is going to be arguably the best gameplay the series has ever known, and it's not going to be David Hayter. Like, can we not just get this?
Yeah.
Can we not cross the finish line with the guy?
It would have been cool if, because Big Boss at the end of Metal Gear Solid 4, how can you still be alive? It was a different guy.
Yeah.
and he,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
he
yeah.
was like, let it go, my son. There's no need to fight. And I was like, okay, so they're kind of doing the same thing where the voice will shift.
But that was a moment though. They did that because Big Boss had been dead that whole game.
Yeah.
And it was only revealed that he was still alive during the post credits of the extended extra end, right? So it's like when you're seeing the credits and then you see Big Boss come up with a different voice actor, it's like, wait, what? And it stopped and it goes bring and it has the exclamation marks.
Yeah.
That was a moment.
I honestly thought that there would be a epilogue chapter where you got to see
In 4?
naked snake. Yeah, no, in 5.
Oh, yeah.
Where you see the clone, and then David Hayter would do the voice. Like,
Yeah.
I was waiting for that.
That's all
like,
we needed.
I was waiting for him to be like, yeah, kept you waiting, huh? Like, like a thing for and the fans would just lose their fucking
Lose their
mind.
mind. I remember going into Metal Gear Solid 5, me and you were like, all right. And then in Chapter 3, it's going to be the remake of Metal Gear. And we're going to fucking get that. And it'll be David Hayter with Kiefer Sutherland. This is all a big play. And then no.
That was the thing. Yeah, was this all we were going into? Like, is this all a work? Like, is the
Kojima's weird.
Yeah, exactly.
Number 4, there was that amazing. Sorry, I keep. So number
Kevin
4.
will come over here. And beat
So number 4, there was that great bit where he goes back to
Shadow
Alaska.
Moses.
Yes.
Oh my God.
And it's like, and he gets the USP or whatever. it was.
Yeah, the SOCOM, right?
SOCOM, and he's like, been a long time or something. He gives that.
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
And I was
I
like,
got chills of you just saying that. Like, fuck.
You do really good
goddamn
David
oh,
Hayter.
I got a message from David that
He's like, stop doing my fucking voice.
No, he liked it because I sent it to him. I was like, hey, David, I love you. Really nice guy.
How many impressions can you do? Or, I mean, and I'm not like gonna look for a real number, but I mean, is it just dozens and dozens?
67.
There's actually quite a lot of voices. Like, I don't like the ones that I do well. I think I'm pretty accurate. I don't do walking, unfortunately.
I bet you could,
I
though.
gotta
I
try.
bet you could.
Yeah, but I could
You're
try,
so
but
good that-
it wouldn't be
It's
good.
probably good
But-
that you don't do walking.
But no,
because
it's like-
walking is kind of a joke where it's just like
How dare
every
you.
dude
Every
thinks he can
dude
do
thinks he can
walking.
do it. Yeah.
How dare you?
How dare you?
Well,
real.
It is a craft.
Yeah, the thing is, like, I won't do something that I don't feel is that good.
Sure.
Like, I'll be like, I'm not that great at that. But like, if you want to hear Matthew McConaughey or something,
Who do you feel that confident about?
Like, well, the thing is, like, I love doing John Malkovich, but sometimes
You do John
Yeah,
Malkovich?
I do,
Who the
but
fuck-
sometimes
you're a sick bastard.
sometimes I fuck it up. But like, he was in that movie where he's like, what the fuck? It's like in
That's
that
really
movie
good.
with
That's spot
what was
on.
it called? Burn After Reading.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, fuck you, Peck, you're a Mormon. Compared to you, we all have a drinking problem. What the fuck is this? Whose ass didn't I kiss? Like, he's got this insane way of talking.
That's so good.
And I love John Malkovich. He was in that Empire of the Sun movie with Christian
Was he
Bale.
in Empire of the
Christian
Sun?
Bale when he was 10.
I didn't
And he
realize
was
that.
like, it's like, oh, you're a tired boy, Jim. It's like, oh, Shanghai Jim. And he takes his glasses and he's like, so, I'm gonna sell you for a slave because I'm a complete asshole, but I've got that charisma, so I'm gonna get away with it. Like I thought I love John Malkovich.
John
He was-
Malkovich is a G. He's also a G.
So there's a lot of voices that but again, that was my childhood. I watched that movie when I was 10,
Mm-hmm.
and I loved it because Christian Bale's character was the son of a diplomat, and I was like, that could have been me in the Philippines.
Could have been.
in the Philippines
Could have
when I was
been you,
born.
yeah.
It could have been me in that situation. So like, there films that I have an emotional connection to, like those are the ones that I connect with. Like The Shining is my favorite film, and I can do like that entire like. What do they call you around here, Jeevesy? Oh, Grady, sir. Delbert Grady. Grady? Delbert Grady. You, married man, are you, Mr. Grady? Yes, I have a wife and 2 daughters. Huh. And, where are they now? You, chopped your wife and daughter up into little bits and, then you blew your brains out. Like, I know the entire movie.
Your British accent's great, too.
Yeah,
that's a big pet peeve of mine. is when,
I love.
Oh, governor!
No, I was watching. I watched Atomic Blonde over the last weekend.
What? You didn't even tell me.
Yeah, I watched.
Yes, you
Atomic
can't
Blonde
burn
over the weekend.
content.
Can't burn content. I haven't seen you since last weekend, but I saw it with my wife on Friday. Beautifully filmed movie, fun movie, great action pieces.
Do
Obviously,
I need to see it?
You can wait. I don't think you need to see it necessarily. I think it's more of a spectacle movie. It's the guys. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's the guys that did John Wick. So it's like the action's fucking insane, and that's really all it is about. And it's about that, and then just watching Charlize Theron wear fucking amazing outfits. But my one critique of it is that she does a British accent the entire time.
Oh, really?
And she's not very good at doing a
Oh,
British
really?
accent, sadly. Yeah.
Well,
That's it.
that was the one thing about my upbringing that it gave me the option to learn all those different accents.
Yeah, like because you just went into a British accent. I'm like, that's pretty spot on. It's
was
not
awesome.
bad.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
not
thanks,
bad.
man.
Of
Like-
course, you do
like-
it for 5 seconds and see if you can do it for an entire film.
Yes, well, I could just do the entire interview if you like in a different accent if you like. I mean, I can do like the Australian accent if that.
Your Australian accent comes with a bit of like.
I know, it's
you
a
do this look
caricature.
like you're
It's a
just
caricature.
fucking with everyone.
I am, yeah.
Like actually, it's
not-
probably the most insulting thing to Australians.
No,
is
it's
you
very
doing that
accurate.
accent.
The thing is, like, The more with the Australian accent, I mean, you get the Hugh Jackmans or the Thors,
Sure.
But they learned how to get rid of that inflection. Like they had to go to dialect coach because really, if where I grew up was really they called them bogans, like bogans, which were like rednecks, and they do sound like that. Like it's very
like here. It always reminds me of, and I forget the actor's name, but the guy who is. Oh shit! Now I've lost what he's into. Shit.
Dick Van Dyke.
No, not Dick Van Dyke.
Is he Australian?
Yeah, I think he's New Zealander actually.
Sam Neill.
I'll figure it out.
Okay.
I'll figure it out. Lost my train of thought on that one. Never mind.
Don't worry, you do a lot of good. So you credit all the accents and stuff and the impressions to
My dad's job, for that upbringing. Because I think if I'd just grown up in one place and had a very normal upbringing, I probably wouldn't be an actor.
So what is your nationality right now? Like, what's your passport?
I'm
from?
Dutch Australian.
Okay, so you are Dutch. So you have dual citizenship.
Yep.
Very cool. That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, it is very cool,
what
but
part of Holland-
it doesn't help me get into the States.
No, yeah.
All right, you already got
that
two.
good. Yeah,
Sorry.
okay.
See you later.
What part of Holland do you live in?
I live in Wassenaar.
Okay.
Wassenaar, which is quite close to the coast,
Okay.
and I just bike to the beach as much as I can, even when it's raining, and I just swim
That's fantastic.
in the ice.
Yeah, no, you guys have never been to Holland, have you?
Oh, no.
Amsterdam.
Oh, it's cool. Like Amsterdam is very busy. It's not. I mean, like it's tiny, but it's packed. Like the houses
awesome.
are all stacked, and everything's very slanted. Like if you roll a dime on the floor, it's just gonna like everything is crooked because these houses are from,
Turn of the
Middle
century.
Ages.
Yeah,
Middle
probably,
Ages.
yeah,
Yeah.
right.
I mean, it was a huge shipping port, and but it's very cool. And yeah, I do really like Holland, but in terms of work, it's
Yeah, it's
not
troublesome.
It's
It's
not a
troublesome.
gold mine. Yeah.
Have you thought about doing Canada, like going to Vancouver?
Yeah,
stuff
well, I
like
lived
that?
in Toronto for 3 years,
you thought about
and
coming
then
back?
I also lived in Ottawa as a child.
Okay.
So and there is a scene there, but it's again, it was really the only way I got noticed was through YouTube because I was just a face in a book with the headshot.
Yeah, yeah, right.
And there's like, well, what the fuck has this kid done? He hasn't done anything. So YouTube, without YouTube, I wouldn't be sitting here. So I'm gonna write a letter and be like,
Familiar, quite familiar.
yeah.
Now, if we can take a quick aside,
Sure.
Nick,
Yeah.
do we want to talk about the fact that
Yeah.
in front of him, 2 LaCroix, a coffee, a glass of bourbon.
He has a drinking problem.
He
We don't
said he
wanna-
had a drinking problem for a long time, and
yeah.
then there they all are.
I mean,
There's just
I
Tim.
want it to be clear. I do have a drinking problem.
Yeah.
But I also want to clarify that I just like drinking things. I don't think I have an alcohol.
You don't.
No,
have
no,
an
it's not an alcohol problem. You said on the show before your drinking problem is that you
I
just.
don't think I said that on the show.
You've
I
said it.
that to you and on
You've said it on the show
Okay,
before, yeah.
cool,
We've talked about that.
because I
Your
came
secret
up
is
with that
out.
recently, but it was in a dinner we had.
The problem with your recently is the fact that it's been a few months.
Yeah, it's been a couple months.
Yeah.
It has.
Yeah,
Well, time travels
thank you,
very
Kevin.
quickly in this office, man.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
actually
it's
the
a
year
time warp.
2019.
See, my problem is you just keep your body guessing to an extent that I can't
Of what's
agree
going
with.
on?
Exactly.
What do you mean?
Oh, for me,
You
it's
need a little pick me up?
I have the very
bring me
I have
down?
I do the handoff of all right,
out?
coffee
LaCroix
stops,
gives it up.
and then all right, now we're moving into we're going from the like you're saying we're going from the accelerant to the depressant. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like I'm not gonna have it bouncing around like this.
Well, my
you bring
thing
these
is,
LaCroix into
I
it.
came into the show with a coffee and a LaCroix.
Mm-hmm.
Coffee, cool. Give me a LaCroix or whatever the hell. It's just there, right? Look, so
You haven't had one of these
LaCroix
guys?
is-
What
it's just carbonated water.
Oh.
It's essentially
It's
just
naturally flavored carbonated water.
yeah,
and
it's
Tim is
fantastic.
obsessed with it.
Yeah, because it's zero everything, and I love it. And I can drink as many as I want, and people can't judge me.
I'm not judging. I don't judge
Sounded
people,
like you were
period.
judging earlier.
He's the one that said,
Nick, you've gotten
But
really,
Nick said it with his
Nick,
eyes.
you've
Oh, wait, hold
gotten-
on. Kevin's leaning in his mic. What do you got to say, Kev?
You've gotten really judgy with the LaCroix. You a bunch of times until you found out that it was really zero everything. You were like, those aren't good for you.
Here's
Well, he's
the
trying to
deal.
help. He's trying to
Here's
help.
the
He's
deal.
looking.
I-
No,
I did say that. I did say that.
I know he's doing it for a good reason. I just want to interrupt and say you have been really judgy.
I appreciate that, and
I need
be-
everyone to know. And this is a big thing for me to say. I'm coming forth right now, making a.
You got a LaCroix
It's a
problem.
safe spot. You're with the best friends. It's
So I
fine.
know I have a LaCroix problem, but the LaCroix problem is a good thing because this is hard for me to admit, but it's hard for me to drink soda now.
Like
Hard
Coke?
for you to drink soda.
What does
Yeah.
that mean?
It burns.
It is too sweet.
It happens.
I drink a Coke, I drink a Sprite,
That's disappointing.
and it is disappointing. I'm sorry to let everyone down, but it's been a
But
while now.
you're not going to stop drinking soda, though. I
No,
mean,
but it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
it's definitely slowing me down.
Good.
And I'm just like I can convert.
I think
just
it's
move
good.
on.
That happened. That's actually very common because I know people who go on detox diets, and they stay away from sugar, and then they have a bit of cereal or something, and they're like, "Oh my god!" Like you get so used to it, and like salt-free diets that like your body will just like freak out.
That's me. Like I do like I've been on a little bit of a ketogenic diet for the last few months, and you do notice that because you're not really having a lot of sugar, and so I found myself because the only thing I'll give myself are fruits that are not naturally, like not a ton of sugar fruits. So I don't do cherries. I do fruits that have a lot of fiber in them. So like apples, strawberries, things like that. But if you deprive yourself of like processed sugar for a month and then eat an apple, it'll be the best tasting fucking thing you've ever. It's super sugary and super tart. You start tasting and so I started craving. Like the other day, for the first time in my life, I'm like, I gotta get a fucking apple. I had to leave my apartment and go find a pink lady apple because I was craving it. And that's never really like normally that happens when I'm like I gotta get goldfish or like Oreo cookies or something like that. But so it's very weird, and to the point where it's gotten to the point now where I eat almonds for their sweetness.
Really?
Yeah, like I'll have like a roasted almond and I'll start eating it and it'll taste salty, but then I'll also taste the sweetness, like the natural sugars that are in the nut. It's pretty fascinating.
So if you had like sugar Fruit Loops, would you be wired like a child?
I don't know that I'd be wired. I think that I would definitely. So I've also been not drinking a lot of artificial sweeteners. So I've been giving myself like a Diet Coke here and there, but nothing too crazy. And I notice the difference now in how I feel.
Yeah.
Which is normally a lot of people don't pay attention to like when's the last time you're like, I'm going to purposely consume this thing and then pay attention to how I feel and how it makes me feel. And how like what's my energy level now? Do I feel cathartic? Do I feel like I could take a nap? Do I feel a little sick to my stomach? Is there that weird taste in my mouth from the coating of whatever this thing was that was unnatural and processed? And so when I have Diet Coke, I definitely feel my body just feels like I gave it something that it doesn't necessarily know what to do with.
Crazy.
Granted, now I should say when I drink a Diet Coke, I don't drink a normal sized Diet Coke. I will go to the movie theater and get the fucking jug of Coke,
okay,
and then I will halfway through the movie go out and refill it. Even though the guy's like, "No, sir, you can't do that." I'm like, "You're not going to run after me," and I fill it, and then I run, son, because they don't give a fuck in the movie theaters. They know their job is the end is in sight for those jobs.
How is the Jackman-off doing? Because you look great.
Thank you.
You're getting more definition
Phil
here, which I
Anthony
know
on
you're
the
looking for.
Jackman-off, because you can't just
So
throw
Anthony,
that term around.
you're a friend of the family now, so I feel like you should know everything about us. About a month and a half ago, a friend of mine that works at a company called IGN, which
Wait, what? Who?
IGN. It's a small media company. Not a lot of people.
That's
Not a lot of people
what is that,
have heard of him.
Okay.
It's not really important. Anyway, he works there, and as part of one morning, I think it was a Monday morning, I was like, "Hey, here's motivational Monday mornings on Twitter." I was like, "Here's my inspiration for today," right? And I put out a picture of Chris Hemsworth with his shirt off as Thor, and I was like, "If only I could look like this or whatever." My buddy tweets back at me. He's like, "Nah, bro. It's all about this." And he tweets a picture of Hugh Jackman with the shirt off from the movie. I think it was The Wolverine, the one that was in Japan. And I was like, "Bro." And we got into this big battle, and somehow that escalated to him challenging me to a Jackman-off, which means that whichever one of us looks more like Hugh Jackman from The Wolverine by
I was
January.
thinking that, like when I was like, this dude's pretty. Oh, sorry. Like when I met you, I was like, this dude's in pretty decent shape. And like when you said Jackman-off, I'm like, it's got to be Hugh.
It's Hugh.
Like,
It's
I
gotta be
Hugh.
I knew it.
So by January, I have to
Like
look
the
like
beard and shit.
Yeah,
like,
thank you. I mean,
yeah.
I'm growing it all out, and I'm probably going to do the thing where I just shave this
Just
part of
shave
it
that off,
and
yeah.
come with just the little spikies.
Oh my!
We'll see
if
what
you
happens.
Did
I'm
that
going
on
deep.
January 5th? You'd win just from beard alone.
So whoever wins has to buy the other steak dinner. Now, Darren's gone dark on me, but I have spies at IGN.
Yeah.
Darren has 2 kids.
Right.
Wait,
Darren's
I
living another
might have
life.
met this guy.
You really
when
good-looking
when I
dude.
signed in, there was this dude who was like, "Hi," and I was like, are you the bouncer? Like,
No,
it's
not
not
him.
him.
Not him.
Oh, okay.
Darren's
You're thinking of Papa.
Super lean.
Yeah, he's very
no.
lean.
He was
Maybe
like an
5'10".
athletic looking
This is
dude.
him.
That's what
This is
Darren looks
Darren
like
right
over
here.
That's him with. There it is.
That
right there.
might have been the guy that I.
So he is.
A Weasley little prick that needs
The
to
thing
be
is-
put down.
The thing
He's
is,
a
Darren
Weasley
is
little prick.
Darren is already
him.
very fit. He's not unfit in any
He
shape of
used
the
to be
imagination.
fat.
He used to be bigger.
No, dude. Have you seen him in his? I wish we
Did
could
he?
try to look for a prom picture of him or high school.
Google Darren Brazil
it might be
prime
there. He's
picture.
uploaded
Darren
it.
Brazil nude and
Dude,
see what
no,
happens.
it's crazy. He looked just like me.
Did he?
At a time.
But he doesn't look
bad.
like that now. So the thing is, I'm up against a little bit. It's going to be hard for me to do this because I have to lose a lot of body fat. I used to be really fat. So I used to be like in college. Yeah, I used to be 265, and I'm like, to put it in context, I think I'm 185 right now. So that's a lot of weight that I've lost, but I still have. I think for my size, I'm only 5'8", so I should be around 160, 165-ish. So I got 20 more pounds to lose. But I'm also trying to pack on muscle, so there's that there. Anyway, long story short, whoever wins gets a steak dinner at a very fancy steak restaurant. And I want that fucking steak dinner. It's going to happen.
What were the spies saying about this
The
Weasley
spies
little
are saying
fucking
that
prick?
he's gone dark and that he's actually working out and dieting. But he's just not saying that he is.
Sure, he
And
wants
then
to
some
lull
other
you into a
people are
false sense of
saying, no,
confidence.
that's not happening. He actually is not doing any of this. He's totally forgotten about it. Now I say he can't possibly forget about it because every time I type, I take a picture of myself and put it on social media with hashtag Jackman-off 2017. Don't forget 2017 for anyone out there following. I tag him in that picture as me or my bicep or whatever. He'll be tagged in the picture. So there's got to be, if you look on Instagram, you type in Darren Brazil, hashtag Darren Brazil.
Maybe he's killed himself.
Darren Braz. He's still around because he tweeted at me yesterday.
Damn. We would have heard
It's like
about
he's
this,
gone dark
Anthony.
and
We're
it's-
still close with these people.
I'm losing badly.
But also, it's we do have 5 months. And he doesn't have that far to go.
Well,
so
you got
he's probably
20
smart.
20 pounds?
I have to do 20 pounds with 5 months. I
In
can do
5
that.
months, that's easy.
But he doesn't have to lose any weight, so he doesn't technically have to. He could just maintain for 2 months and then
pour it on.
No, though, he's a
really
little
hard.
chicken boy, though.
What's that?
He's just a little chicken boy.
But for him, it's probably easy if he has the kind of build where he can put muscle on because he used to play football. I'm pretty sure he could.
No.
You don't think
You
so?
got this, Nick.
All right.
Don't let Nick fall, or I'm sorry, don't let Tim put you into a false
I did
sense of
so many
confidence.
squats yesterday.
Yeah, how'd that feel?
when I went to take a shit today,
Oh, God.
I had to do that thing where as you go down to go to the toilet, you got like the extra 30 degrees of space,
And then you just
my
fall?
legs, and I just went, and I just fell into it.
Yeah.
Thank God. And I almost bruised my tailbone, but it's not that far. That's fine. It's good.
God damn it, Nick.
It's great. It's great.
It's not great.
It's great.
No.
I work out with Yusuf. You guys know Yusuf, right?
Yes,
Of course.
we do.
Yusuf
Best
Best
friend.
over at Ubisoft. He is a monster of a human being.
Sure.
A monster. And Sean Pitts, who I work out with him as well, but Sean Pitts is like me. Like, we can barely lift anything.
Sean's offended now. Listen to this.
He's
by
like,
the way.
hey, I squat more than you. But compared to Yusuf, it's not even fair. That guy, he squats like hundreds of pounds. It's obscene.
So do you have it all mapped out in terms of? Okay, no.
No. What I'm doing right now is I'm trying to add, again, functional strength, trying to increase my motivation, excuse me. Functional strength, trying to increase my each lift, and then as we get closer to it, I'll start getting a little more hardcore and a little bit more methodical about
Gotcha.
it. Like, I'm not paying too much attention to my macros and my diet. I'm not paying too much attention to like how many calories I'm eating versus and what we're getting fats, proteins, and carbohydrates from that yet. But as we push forward, probably into October, I'll start getting a little more hardcore about it
Candy
and
corn.
tracking it. 100% candy corn. They say that the best way to lose weight is a week before a competition, candy corn diet. If you can get it.
I mean, it's
That's the
in
problem.
season.
You gotta be able to get it.
It's in
You gotta be able
season.
get it
You
in
have
October.
to. I mean,
I know.
October is a month off the leash.
Now, let me
You
ask
gotta-
you this all-important question, Greg. I know we're getting long on this topic. How do you eat the candy
There
corn?
is no topic.
How do
You
eat
missed
the-
yesterday's
how do you
show.
eat the candy
2
corn?
hours. There's talking. How do I eat the candy corn?
Do you go white end first, then back end, then middle?
I go tip,
Yeah.
middle, whole piece.
Okay, you eat
yeah,
it.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
supposed
yeah.
to.
Throw
You're
it
not a
out.
monster.
Nobody
You
eats
throw
candy
it out.
corn.
Thank you, Kevin.
No, fuck you guys. Candy corn is
Do you
good.
have candy
Candy
corn?
corn
on?
is
No,
good.
I've heard of it in Futurama.
Yeah.
where it's
Okay.
like, Fry, I
Go
hate
get
that
some
guy.
Candy corn.
Kevin, bring up a photo of candy
What
corn to
is
show
candy corn?
Anthony.
I don't know.
Is that
I
like
don't think they're selling
popcorn?
it yet.
No. It's imagine just liquid,
grain of
hot
corn.
liquid sugar that you then colorize and then just form
I
into
see.
pieces.
This
of
is
I
the candy
see.
corn. Now, when I was
yeah,
a
yeah,
child,
I know those.
as an overweight child, I liked anything that tasted moderately good.
Sure.
Candy corn,
Not one of those things.
candy corn is one of those things that tastes just good enough for when you're fat and it's in front of you, you'll just start
No,
eating.
dude.
Right?
Candy corn's delicious.
It is.
Candy corn
it's
is
basically
worse than
flavored
Oh
Batman v
God!
Superman.
Here comes Andy Cortez to say something stupid about this. He's never had candy corn. He's never seen candy corn. Andy, come give me while you do this, I'm tweeting a poll about candy corn. Come talking to my microphone. Tell him what you think of candy
You're
corn.
going to get destroyed, Greg.
Candy corn fucking rules.
Yeah!
He just said his opinion had no value.
No, I didn't. I just said he was gonna say something dumb, but he turned me wrong.
He turned you wrong. Andy, I fucking fought for you to work at this company. I begged you almost.
He really did beg, and Andy was like, "Nah, I'm good."
And now here we are. You refuse to eat macaroni and cheese. And you hate candy corn.
He's never had
you love
macaroni and
candy
cheese.
corn.
Really?
Yeah.
Joey, where do you come down on the all-important candy
Come
corn
on,
debate?
come over here and say it into my microphone. Come in and say it into my microphone.
Joey, you like candy
The
corn?
poll is up. Candy corn ? Awesome. Bad. Those are the options.
Pro candy corn.
Fuck
but
yes.
those little pumpkins, those are trash.
The little.
Oh, the pumpkins are too much.
yeah.
It's too much of a good thing.
Kevin, fuck this shit.
Fuck this shit.
Wait, you guys like the pumpkins and not the candy corn?
No.
Oh.
The pumpkins
None
are
of that.
trash. The
Okay,
marshmallow
okay.
pumpkins.
That's something with Sweeties or Smarties, whatever the
Smarties
hell.
suck. Smarties suck. Smarties are terrible.
Some people like Smarties, all right? It's not that uncommon.
Smarties,
They pull out one
M&Ms
Smartie at a time.
M&Ms
No,
versus
yeah.
awesome.
Smarties. Smarties are
There's no
just too
competition.
big. They're too big.
No, the
No, I
sweet-
Now
don't
you're
think
thinking of the
Skittles?
No, he's
Yeah.
there are there's
Smarties, like, they're like
there are different
European
Smarties.
Smarties, right?
European Smarties are
those are
terrible.
different.
They're
Those
like
are different.
Spears.
Oh, okay.
Smarties here are
Yeah.
just like Tums.
I
Imagine
see.
smaller
Oh,
Tums.
He's gone. I saw you on the monitor. There he is. Put yourself there.
No, wait, hold on,
There
Kevin.
he is.
Shrink yourself down and put yourself on the computer.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on.
Or
hold
like
on.
right here.
Sure. Okay.
It's like, there he is. Oh, he's too small.
No, he's coming. He'll reambigulate.
There.
Reambigulate.
Yeah. Simpsons reference. Don't worry about it.
the world in my hand.
I hate this so much.
Awesome. I saw Alien Covenant. On the
Oh,
weekend.
how'd you feel about that?
Michael Fassbender is fantastic.
He is fantastic.
I love him in everything he's ever done. No, he's fantastic. But yeah, I liked it. What did you think?
I didn't care for it that much.
You didn't like it?
I didn't dislike it. I just was like, I'm disappointed that it's.
when he wipes out a civilization, I was like, that's
It's cool.
That
It
was
feels
fantastic.
like they made a little bit like they made a movie
I did
to
like that.
explain another movie.
Prometheus?
And then they didn't do a good job of explaining that
Wait,
first
hold on.
movie.
Sorry, I need to back up a little bit. I did not watch Covenant.
You haven't watched Covenant.
Oh.
Fassbender
Is in both.
is in Prometheus.
And Covenant.
and Covenant, and he plays a
And
dual
He's a
role.
droid, right?
He
He plays
two
the same. He
roles,
plays the
yeah.
same role in Prometheus that he plays in Covenant.
Was that
But
like
he
a surprise, or was that in the trailers?
That was in the trailer.
I think.
Really?
Oh, yeah, because
yeah.
Yeah, he plays. David comes back as like the survivor, and then he plays because the android that he plays is a model, a bit like
Johnny Five.
Yeah,
yeah,
just
but
like Johnny
in,
Five.
in
Five.
Aliens,
Yeah.
Bishop.
Bishop,
yeah.
So
Very similar to Johnny Five, because Johnny Five
is
Felt alive.
Is alive.
wrong programming. He had
Ah.
an issue similar to.
Remember when he didn't want the laser anymore? He wanted the suction cup
Yep.
thing that came in, of course,
was-
when he was chasing Oscar.
That was the second movie.
hero. It's all fucking canonical. Doesn't matter if I'm talking about Johnny Five. If I'm referencing Short Circuit,
Are we
Short Circuit.
legitimately trying to start a rumor that Johnny Five was the predecessor to Wayland's Bishop?
Yeah.
Or Ash, I should
How
say.
have we not fucking talked about the Gutenberg showing up on Ballers? Are you fucking kidding
What
me
a
right now?
weird and wacky role for him, right?
Yeah.
Have you
I
ever
I
come
think
back?
Anthony was saying something.
Sorry, Anthony.
Sorry.
Let's talk about Covenant again.
I've completely lost my train. No, it doesn't matter.
Game
I don't,
over.
Covenant, I think, is just hitting on demand, so I don't want to like spoil it for too many people. If
Oh,
people
okay.
haven't seen
Yeah.
You
it.
know what? If you haven't seen Covenant by now,
No.
you don't care to see Covenant.
Yeah.
There's a lot
that's
of
probably
people out
true.
there that are probably like, I'll watch Covenant on demand.
Fuck
It's an
them.
alien movie. It's
Fuck
the same as
you.
that. Wow.
Damn, wow,
Jesus.
fuck.
Stop making alien movies.
Why?
No. I
do you
want
mean,
them.
why?
Oh.
I don't want them to
They're
stop
gonna get.
making
They're gonna
alien
get back
movies.
to the ones we want, where there's aliens again.
That's true.
Yeah,
No,
I
they're
want
not.
them to make a.
No.
I want them to make another movie that is pretty much the exact same movie as Aliens. I don't understand to this day why they haven't figured out why none of the people in Hollywood who produce movies who are way smarter than we are haven't figured out that the only thing you need to make a successful alien movies is colonial marines. They were the coolest fucking part of the entire franchise,
But I
and they
like
never brought them
Alien.
back.
I like Alien way more than Aliens.
I think that's because of your upbringing, unfortunately.
Probably.
Yeah, I don't think you're
I don't know.
American. So.
Yeah, that's probably true.
No,
But-
Alien is a great film. I'm joking around with
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
But
but
I think the thing there, though, is that we can't best Alien.
No,
I
that's true.
think we can do Aliens
Well,
again.
Alien
I think we
Covenant
could.
at times did feel like a remake.
What we need is the
Of
aliens to
Alien.
fight the
Alien.
predators.
it is
again.
the exact same movie as Alien.
Yeah, I thought it
Get it. That's
got
what we
it
do.
picked up when David was introduced, and then he got to play those dual roles, and like
I'm Walter. He was like,
yeah, he had
he
this
sounded a little
American-
bit like Buffalo Bill
Yeah,
from
yeah,
Silence
it
of
was
the
like,
Lambs.
would you?
Walter, where's she
She like a great big fat person.
My wife hates that, by the way. If anytime I start doing, I'm like, I'd fuck
That's the
you.
greatest thing.
She's
When you
like,
when you
"Oh,
go out
stop."
on
I'm like,
a
"Boo, I'm coming.
Nick,
fuck me, fuck me.
I simultaneously would pay any amount of money, and I simultaneously would never want to see you.
It's so broken.
your
Your
wife.
chapstick is so low. You're never gonna get it up.
I've got one too. Wait.
Oh, no. Oh, my
Would you
God.
fuck me? I'd fuck me.
Oh, Kevin's dancing.
I love that song so much.
I'd fuck me so hard.
Shout out! I don't know that guy's name, but
Buffalo
he's
Bill.
in everything. That actor, he's been in
yeah,
so
he's
much
in
shit.
Monk.
He's in Monk. He was in Heat. as one of the actors there. He's a fucking awesome actor. But
No, he's
man,
great, yeah.
what a great role to be remembered by. The guy, Buffalo Bill, huh?
That's how I want to go.
Here's my phone number.
Now here's my topic.
Dad, I want to talk about Cobra Kai.
No, we'll get to Cobra Kai. This isn't a long-lasting topic. Don't worry. Again, there's a time warp for you, the listener who isn't watching live right now, right? What are you shaking your head at?
We're bringing it up now?
I
Are we
don't
doing
know.
the topic again now?
No. There's a time warp. No, it's not really the topic I discussed earlier.
Okay, good. I was going to say this is the worst time to do that again.
I was just thinking as I was pouring this new Nika coffee grain whiskey that I've never had. We're going to
How
see
is
what
it?
that's all about. Hold on.
Let's get Anthony
It's delicious.
fucked up.
Not
My-
hard. I'm a cheap drunk.
Good.
I was just thinking, Nick and his diet, how impressed with that it is. I am,
Okay.
you know what I mean? He's doing all the stuff. He doesn't have fun anymore. He doesn't eat anything fun. Doesn't do
I
anything.
had a blast this weekend eating all your cooking.
You didn't eat that much.
All
though.
of it. Every single dish.
What I want to know
Also,
is
shout
for the
out to that
listeners.
chicken you gave me. It was fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, I had
Thank
that.
you for
I had a leftover piece.
My
today.
wife
It's great.
wanted a piece. I was like, no.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Cooking with Greggy coming September. However, I was thinking about how crazy you are and the thing you just did and the dancing and the Buffalo Bill stuff, and I was like, man, and Nick's not even drinking. It's a time warp for you, but this is our last Game Over Greggy show before Kevin Coelho's bachelor party in Vegas.
In real time.
In real time. Well, when you see the Meg Turney episode, that'll be the episode after we've done this, where I'm sure we will talk about all our adventures. But are you going to be drinking in
Yeah.
Vegas?
Oh,
Are
yeah.
you okay?
Yeah,
are you
no.
throwing it all out the window? Are you eating carbs?
I probably. I mean, the thing is, I've been building in a cheat day into the diet. Not hardcore, but I've been preparing for this a little bit. So I think Friday I'm gonna try to be good. Saturday I think I'm just gonna say
You
fuck
get
it.
naughty.
Whatever.
You get
wanna
naughty,
be
Nick.
bad.
The only thing I will not do is I will not smoke during the trip.
You
That's
will
the
not
one thing
smoke.
I will not do.
No one's gonna fucking smoke except your brother.
Okay.
I'm gonna smoke
Kevin's
cigars.
definitely
I'm gonna smoke cigars.
Kevin's gonna smoke. He's gonna smoke cigars.
Your brother's gonna smoke too.
My brother's gonna
fuck
smoke.
I've already
everything.
told you what I want. I want it because I can't believe Matt Scarpino's on this trip. I can't believe how excited he is, seeing as how 11 days out he started sending gifts and excitement and everything else in this group. Thing.
Yeah, randomly, 8 o'clock in the morning. Can't wait for Vegas, boys. I'm like, Matt, it's 3 weeks from now. Everybody's like 15
So
people.
Anthony,
I'm like,
an important thing for you to know is this is the third in a trilogy of bachelor parties.
Oh.
Because there was Nick's bachelor party years ago.
I wasn't invited.
Then there was our
Neither was
boy
I.
Eric Hart's bachelor party.
Right.
Wasn't invited.
Still
Neither
About
was
5
I.
years ago.
Five,
yeah.
was that 5 years ago?
Probably, I think he's
God
very
damn.
young. His kid's like 2
5
years
years ago. This is from the producers of Nick Scarpino and Eric Hart's bachelor party, Kevin Hart's bachelor party.
So it's basically
No.
like
Oh my God, Kevin Hart's bachelor
Kevin
party?
Hart's invited.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah, it's gonna be
it's gonna be like The
You are
Hangover.
kind of
like
well,
the
it's similar to The
same
Hangover,
movie.
Except
we're
we
doing
remember
the exact
everything.
same thing
Yeah.
3 times.
Okay.
It's the same.
So
bachelor
exactly
party.
like the Hangover series.
Exactly.
It'll be fascinating to see if all of the plans come together the way I want them to. I don't think it's going to be like. I think we'll have great stories coming out of this.
Fuck yeah.
It's just a matter of like I don't. You know, I'm always like a little hard on myself. Like we don't have anything crazy planned for Saturday night, and I
We'll
think
make
it's
it happen.
That's how it
We'll
needs
make
to
it
happen.
I know,
We
but
need that
you know
break
me. I have to
in.
know. You guys know me. I'm fucking like when it comes to a production, I need to know every single aspect of it. I can't allow for variance. Like I need to know what's going on. But well, I think we're gonna have a lot of fun. We got a great roster of people coming. to
lay
this.
it out right now for
Okay.
everybody at home who's on this team.
We've got Tim. We've
Yeah.
got you.
Yeah.
We've got myself. We've got Kevin Coelho.
Yeah.
Cool Greg.
The,
Anthony,
cool
you're-
Greg's when you first get excited.
You're invited if you want. If you're still in the country by Friday.
Make it.
There you go.
I would be there.
We've got your friend James Burke, who is coming.
James
call him
Burke,
the wild
if
card.
you're a wrestling fan, you've seen him on the wrestling streams we do.
There you go. We've got our good friend Eric Hart, who we've already talked about, works over at Snapchat. I used to work with him at IGN. We've got my brother, Matt Scarpino.
And that's the party.
He's the heavy lifter. I'm going to be honest with you on that one. He's the guy that's going to go 100% all the time.
I want it Friday, I guess Saturday morning, 2 in the morning. I want him and I cigars at the video blackjack table.
that'll
That's what
be
I want.
happening.
And I
That'll
will
be
live
happening.
stream it on Twitch IRL.
My brother, you think Tim has a lot of drinks in front of him? Wait until you see my brother. Just pay attention to the amount of drinks in front of my brother.
What you're live streaming
Speaking
on
of
Twitch.
which, I'm just gonna hit the loo.
Oh, yeah,
go
go,
for
go,
it.
go, go, go.
Man.
The back is.
No, it's fine.
Because
He's not coming
some of
back.
my fondest memories of my brother are I look over at him and he's got a Bloody Mary, a beer, 2 shots of whiskey, and like a water just cause, so that everything else doesn't feel
in
left
case
out.
he gets thirsty.
In case he gets thirsty.
First alcoholic drink Alfredo Diaz ever had was at your
my
bachelor,
bachelor party.
courtesy of
Matt
Matt
Scarpino.
Scarpino.
Yeah, of course.
Who just had them on hand.
Yeah.
Had shots on hand.
Matt likes the party. He is a consummate professional during the day, party animal during the night. We've got also one Fran Mirabella III.
That is the one. Are you kidding me? I didn't have this information told me until this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
I cannot believe that.
And
He's
rounding
getting a
out-
tattoo.
Yeah, he's definitely getting a tattoo. Let's get him a tattoo of you on his chest, like life size.
There's 2 more people.
There's 2 more people. We also have one Shark Finnegan will be coming.
Chomp.
He's excited to come. I talked to him on Saturday night. He couldn't be happier. And who am I missing? Who's the last person?
We're missing Stephanie Broder.
Oh, right. Stephanie's coming.
Kevin's, besides me, his best friend, his current wall.
Now, at
if you will.
first, I thought to myself, I'm like, it's a little weird that a woman is joining a bachelor party.
2017,
sexist.
bro.
Traditionally,
2017.
and that was my own sexism coming out because
One of
what
my
I
best
didn't
men.
realize was, aside from being one of Kevin's best friends,
Best
she's
men.
best men.
Is that a
best
groomsman or
people.
is it actually?
Groomsman.
No, I'm calling them all best men.
Nice.
No,
She's
Smart.
also going to be a huge asset at the pool and at the strip clubs that we go to. Right? We'll send her in first to smooth things over, and then boom, we can have
Now you
things
say
Paula, if
now,
you're
of course,
listening,
bringing
he didn't mean
in,
any of those
bringing
things.
in,
to be a ringer.
bringing as everybody knows, you
Ringer.
go to a strip club, you bring as many females as you can.
Yep. And-
it
and-
gets
and-
you.
and that's
the
the big-
strippers, they're like, oh, these
This
people
is the
can't be
big-
crazy.
Yeah, this is the big problem with bachelor parties, though, because it's always all guys. So I'm
course.
excited to have a girl on board
Why is she a ringer for the pool? Pools aren't intimidating.
because we're going to have a cabana at the pool, and we want people to come party with us.
Sure.
but we don't want more dudes to come party with us.
But
Okay.
not only
We don't
is
want more
the
dudes
cool-
08.
If they're cool dudes, I'm down for cool
No,
dudes.
no, because it's not enough space, and we're all cool enough.
Sorry,
dudes.
cool dudes.
Here's the thing,
Unless
though.
it's Anthony. If Anthony fucking shows up with his cool hair, I'm like, Anthony, come on.
What's the deal with the pool, though, Nick?
The pool is a toptional pool.
Toptional, my favorite word in the English language.
So it's not a topless pool, but if someone wants to, if someone's from Europe, like
Toptional.
someone's
And Greg
coming
Miller
from-
will be.
Someone's from, they're from Amsterdam. They're like, I don't understand why Americans are so fucking staunchy when it comes to like nudity or whatever. If they come over, you're
I'll
more
be
than
naked
welcome
from
to
the
make it
waist
topless.
down,
You could be,
just to really freak people out.
We tried that at Eric's bachelor party. That is the one thing they don't like you to
They don't
do
like that.
there. Just
Nick-
put your penis away, please.
Can we show off the thing that's in a box or not?
It's up to you. You're the hype master.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
we're doing it.
Oh,
we're
God.
fucking doing it.
You
Hold
want
on.
to show it? So
Now, when you see this, remember again, this is literally the same bachelor party 3 times.
Shut your fucking mouth. Okay, well, you're trying to perfect something. Let me ask you this question. Okay,
Please lay it
Roger
on me.
Federer, big tennis player, right? Not
Life
getting
of
that
Federer?
wrong. Roger Federer.
Roger Federer,
Right.
he is a tennis player.
Great at
Yeah.
tennis, right?
Yeah.
Did he get great at tennis by playing the game one time and then not playing that same game ever
That's a
again?
great point. That's a
you gotta
great
fucking
point.
play the same game over and over again if you want to get great at it. So one of the things that I think is a cornerstone of a solid bachelor party is you gotta make something to remember the bachelor party by. And there's nothing that screams better, hey, remember me, and you'll never live this down more than a tank top with a catchy phrase on it. So we have made the official Kevin Coelho Likes to Party shirt, which we will all be sporting all weekend.
What is underneath party? What does it say in small
It
text?
says Kevin Coelho, bachelor party, Las Vegas, Nevada.
Now, what I appreciate that I'm finally on the inner Nick Scarpino
need
circle
one
to
of
go
those.
one of these,
Yes.
right? Where I'll get one of these shirts. Because when you made the Eric Hart Likes to
Yeah.
Party one, I believe it worked out
don't know
so
what you're
well.
talking- yeah, it did. I don't know what you're
because
talking
this idea has been
This is
redone.
an original idea, sir.
Oh,
I don't
my
know why you would
interesting,
think that we would-
interesting.
I sleep
I'm
in
sorry,
my
yes.
Eric Hart Likes to Party.
still wear
tank
it.
But it
top
was
once a
it
week.
was the point what I liked about it was that people come up all the time and go, "Who's Eric Hart?" And people go,
Yeah,
"That's
that guy."
Eric Hart. He's getting married."
So we're hoping to recreate some of that magic in Vegas, right? We've printed some extra shirts in case we meet some fun people. If we see any of our friends just happen to be in Vegas, like if Cisco ever gets back to
Cisco,
me,
so
we're
come
gonna
on,
throw
man.
him a shirt. It's gonna be fantastic. So we've got that going on for us, which is fun, and we'll see what's going on if people like
Now,
these.
can we announce the next thing about the shirt? Because we're kind of funny.
I think we absolutely can. If you'd like, you want
So-
to do the honors of that?
Yeah, in the most kind of funny move of all time, are we going to sell this shirt? Yeah, we're going to sell
gonna
this
sell
shirt.
this shirt.
It's going to be a T-shirt available Monday, August 14th.
The 14th of Monday, we will be doing. We're actually going to be doing a big sale next week as well. And so we'll be selling this shirt if you guys want it. It's a limited edition shirt.
how long is it up for?
Until
It's
it sells
limited
out.
quantity. We
Limited
don't know
quantity,
the
yeah.
quantity of it.
So if you're watching on YouTube, sorry if it's gone. Because this is going. Oh yeah, this is way delayed. This is great. This is awesome information for the people watching
people watching
live.
live, hey, this
The
is
Patreon
like-
supporters.
Oh,
I know.
that's
I
Patreon
know.
supporters at
How
the
many
$1
people are
level.
watching live
bonus,
right
eh?
now, Kevin?
Give me a second.
That's a sad number to get shout out. Don't do it.
Okay,
If you're watching live, screen cap that and put it on the Reddit.
If it's somewhere around, I think the limited. I'm not quite sure how many we have. Actually,
It looks like
I gotta check
Anthony's
with that.
wearing it.
When I go out, I love to wear these officially endorsed kind of funny shirts.
There you
Although
go.
to be fair, this is not
seen it.
officially endorsed. This we had to make ourselves.
That one we made ourselves just to get it as a prototype. The new one, I think the red's gonna be a little more vibrant on it because this one printed a little dark. Having said that, it's important to note these are tank tops. We are not selling tank tops. We will be selling.
Oh, we're selling regular
t-shirts.
t-shirts?
Yeah,
Nice.
regular
because
t-shirts.
no one's gonna wear
Nobody
this in real
wants
life.
to wear that in real life.
And if you do want to wear it in real life, just buy the t-shirt and cut off the sleeves.
There you go. Boom.
Done. That's a
You're ready
tank
to rock
top.
and
You look
roll.
awesome.
So that's happening for this bachelor party. So the way the bachelor party is going to run right now, everyone gets there. We're going to do a little impromptu lunch. Then we're all going to go out to the gun store and we're going to get, I hope, the zombie package because there's a zombie apocalypse
What do you
package that
mean
we can all
hope?
get. Where it's all. I mean, everyone's allowed to get whatever they want. I'm just saying I'm
Okay, all
encouraging
right, yeah.
people to get the zombie
What
package.
does that come with?
It comes with everything you'd see in The Walking Dead. So the carbines, the handguns.
Okay.
I think you can do a shotgun. Carl's there. Carl's just like, it's a Carl.
There was a
And it's like-
rocket launcher featured in one episode.
There was. It's not a rocket launcher. I don't think in the gun store. No, I don't think I can do that. Then after that, we've got a dinner planned that night, and then probably we'll be going to a fine adult establishment. And the next day is the pool day, so we'll be at the pool all day. That'll be fun.
Bring sunscreen, Tim.
Oh, I
No,
will.
you buy it there.
Don't worry.
You did not get burned. You didn't get too burned last time we were there. So
No,
you're
I
fine.
did fine last time.
Yeah.
Hey,
'Cause you put on
I don't know what
sunscreen.
to do, man. I just don't know what to tell you guys. I put on the sunscreen and it does or doesn't work. It's not up to me. I re-lather, I lather again, I re-lather, and here I am.
White.
Tanner than I've ever been.
Okay.
You are
okay.
red.
Okay.
You are red,
Are you
sir.
Scottish? Like,
I'm Irish.
okay.
I'm Italian.
That makes okay.
I got bad news from Twitter. Right now, candy corn is bad. 57%, 43% awesome.
That's not even
Wait, I gotta
fair,
vote.
dude.
I gotta
It
vote.
should
Please
be
vote.
like 80-20 max.
Yeah.
The thing is, everyone knows
Scott-
it's bad. It's whether or not you like it.
Where do you land on this shit? Thank you. Fucking
Scott,
thank
drink
you.
another IPA and keep your opinions.
You're
to
just,
yourself.
I don't hear anybody. Nobody's coming to talk on the mic. Yeah, I can do that too. Hey, Mike, do you like it? And Mike's saying he likes it. He likes candy corn.
Go
Jim,
get Mike.
I did.
Jim,
Go
Jim,
get Mike.
Jim, what do you feel about candy? Jim loves it. Jim loves candy.
Yeah,
corn.
Jim. All
Jim's
right.
fucking
All
crushing
right,
it.
good. It is worth pointing out that on Twitter, @Bongos for Kevin says, do another poll about those candy corn pumpkins. Those are fucking dope. Now, you're wrong about that. You're wrong about that, Bongos.
Joey
for
Noel
Kevin.
has a word or two for you.
She has a lot of words for a lot of people. Anthony,
Yeah,
have you had fun?
I have.
Is there anything else you want to talk about?
I think we've covered pretty much everything. The candy corn and
Yeah, that was top of your list on things you wanted to do on
Yes,
this roller coaster of a podcast.
Yeah. I'm not sure. What's this note here?
There was scrolling names. I wanted to make sure I did scrolling names, and then I had the topics we were going to
But
do.
you didn't.
I want to
But
do.
I did.
Do we not have
You
time
didn't
to
scroll
do
in?
one
Did I
topic?
go pee
No, I
at
guess
that point?
Possibly.
Maybe.
It was at
I
the,
didn't
it was
hear
at the
it.
start of topic 2 where I did them. Kevin wrote it down there. Don't worry about it, right? Yeah. Nick,
Are we
you-
not? Are we not doing my last topic? Because that one was so fun.
Well, I mean, we just didn't do any topic. I mean, do you want me
This
to?
no, you're right. This is definitely just a
This
we
is
did
another.
the show.
I don't know. We had so much fun doing it like this yesterday.
I love it.
I
Don't
love-
get me
this is
wrong.
a good one,
I
too.
love Stream of Consciousness podcast.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed we did not talk about the Karate Kid remake. I think y'all are fucking
Go,
monsters.
you do it. Cobra Kai. What about
What
it?
is going
It's not
on
a
with it?
remake, right?
No, it's a
It's a
continuation.
comedy?
I think
It's this-
Tim was saying it was a
yeah,
comedy.
okay, so we did it on the morning show, so I know the details of this. Cobra Kai is a comedy TV series
Okay.
YouTube Red series
coming out on YouTube Red.
Right.
Okay.
That is, it's a 30-minute or 22-minute, whatever,
Episodic TV.
episodic TV show. 10 episodes is what they're saying. And it's with the original cast of Karate Kid. That's what we know.
That's all we know so
But
far.
no, I thought we knew that it was like Cobra Kai gets
comes back,
refounded,
yeah.
and Ralph Macchio's got a they're mean to him again.
Yeah, Johnny from the
mean
Cobra Kai. The story goes, Johnny, the guy that played Johnny.
They're mean to me. So wait, this is
I don't know about all
this
that,
is
but
not
yeah.
Jaden
Johnny's
Smith.
down on his luck.
No,
and
this is not. This is
apparently-
original Karate Kid.
And he's old now, so it takes place now.
both old.
Yeah.
And he's older, and
They're
he's
both
just
old as
like
fuck.
he's missing Mr. Miyagi. He's like, I don't know what to do. I don't have someone telling me what to do.
Right. So, but I guess the story is he's Johnny, the bad guy, is like
blonde.
is restarting the Cobra Kai dojo. And then, of course, Ralph Macchio. I guess they're still living in the same fucking town. They've never.
That happens.
They've never
That happens
decided
to people.
leave.
Look at Kevin.
Kevin still live
It's
together.
been 60 years. These people have
We
been
don't
alive.
live together.
We live in the same town.
No, I know. But I
I'm
just wanna
excited
make
about
it
this, and I'll
clear.
tell you why. This is a huge step forward for YouTube, and this might get me to pay attention to YouTube Red.
This is a huge step forward for YouTube.
YouTube Red, excuse
the
me.
fucking service that got this man multiple jobs. You're telling me that Cobra Kai.
What is the last series on YouTube Red that you were excited for?
There's been a whole bunch of them
Video
That
game
you were
rights for?
excited for?
that I was excited for.
Yeah.
Matt Pat saves the world.
Laser Team.
That you signed up for.
Oh,
We
I
saw
have-
Laser Team on. We saw Laser Team.
Thug.
There was a Wong Fu production show that I signed up for YouTube Red for.
Interesting. Okay.
But otherwise,
This might legitimately
Really?
get me to sign up for
This
YouTube Red.
series
So
suck, Nick.
It's gonna be
YouTube
great.
Red is like a premium service.
Yeah, you pay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get
Okay, 'cause
ad-free content.
It sounds like RedTube, which is
It does sound like
bad
Red Team.
marketing
Now-
on their point, or great marketing,
or great.
depending.
You want to
RedTube.
trick those perverts.
also great. Also great.
Where's all the fucking
Let's
porn
get
on
some of
this?
that.
I'm just
Yeah,
there's
I
just
was
no
like,
ads.
Where is this shit? Yeah.
Man,
Here's
you
my
could
problem.
Do 6 degrees of Pornhub and to get back to YouTube very easily.
Asa Akira.
What about her?
Sorry. Maybe not the right way to bring up this conversation. She's making the rounds. She's doing a whole thing. She's like back in the public eye.
Really?
Who is
Yeah.
Asakura?
Asa Akira.
I always thought it was Asia
Asa
Akira.
Who is this? I don't know who this is.
She's a
Porn
porn star.
Old school porn.
But she's been
the
doing a
old
lot of
school
YouTube stuff. She's not old school.
Good for
No,
her.
she's like contemporary. And,
Yeah.
you know, she's still relevant. And I'm happy for
Here's
her. She's doing
here's
cool stuff.
why I don't like Cobra Kai.
Sure.
And I don't like this. And I don't like what's happening here.
Sure.
Is because my problem with Karate Kid was I just didn't like seeing him be bullied all the time, right? And so I really don't like the idea that 40 years later, your bullies are still there torturing you in the same
people.
town.
Wouldn't you leave?
Yeah, right? Like, come on.
But you don't know that, right? This is a comedy. Then maybe
I know they're gonna-
maybe they become friends. Maybe they go on misadventures, just like the
It's
people
like
from
the
Psych.
Biff and Back to
didn't
the
watch
Future
that.
thing.
It's exactly. Like
Oh,
that.
Biff, you raped my wife, but now you're polishing my car.
That was always a little bit weird, actually.
Fucking
Now that you
very
mention
weird.
that is a little strange. Like, you
very
tried to rape my
strange
wife,
that
I
he's-
would have fucking strangled you to death.
Like,
Right.
oh,
When I
thanks
knocked you
to
out, I just-
Biff, we met. It's like, yeah, weren't you raping her?
Yeah, right.
That was-
Sexual assault I intervened in. Yeah,
was a
maybe
little
you
bit
should.
weird.
And
yeah,
wouldn't it
get
be
it.
kind of strange that he's like, yeah, you know, you look exactly like my son looks exactly like my best friend. So it was like, who's the father?
Yeah.
It's like,
If you didn't know, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Game Over Greggy Show. Each and every week, 4, sometimes 5 best friends gather on this table, each sometimes bringing a random topic of discussion for your amusement. If you like that, go over to patreon.com/kindafunny, toss us a few bucks, and you can get each and every episode early. But if you got no bucks to toss, no big deal. Head over to youtube.com/kindafunny, where we put up the show topic by topic, day by day, until it goes up as one big video in MP3. You can poke me all you want. It's not going to stop me.
You're a fucking machine.
I know. We were talking about this yesterday. You should come to work sometimes.
I'm fucking here all the time, bro. I haven't left in 8 days.
We've been working nonstop.
Yeah, I know.
It's starting to wear
I'm
me out. You know what I
delirious.
mean? Anthony Ingruber, thank you so much for coming
my
by.
pleasure. Thank you for having me.
You are fantastic in Age of Adeline. You're even better as John Doe / the Joker in Batman. I've told you a million times, everybody pick up Batman, but for real, go do it now. You got 6 episodes out there to play right now. It'd be great stuff. Tim,
Yes.
they did 1 season and then they did 1 extra episode. That's how the 6 episodes happened.
Gotcha.
You didn't.
I had to do the math in my head.
I was going to compliment you, and I will.
On what?
I love you. You're
I love
funny
you
and you're
too.
great and you make
Thank
all this
you,
go.
Thank you.
No.
Leave a comment
here we go.
below
Here we
letting
fucking
us
go.
know if you like this style of Game Over Greggy Show. We get a little drunk. We just fucking go for it. We just
Sure.
let it happen.
We
No
just talk.
topics.
Yeah.
It is just stream of conscious, whatever the hell.
And if
'Cause
you know-
we enjoy doing it. I hope you enjoy it.
It's a nice
watching
change of pace.
It is.
You know what I mean?
It
I
is.
think
And I think it works well with the guests.
I have topics for Meg Turney.
Oh, yeah.
So I need topics for Meg. You know what I mean? But Anthony can get in here. I know he can roll with the punches.
Yeah, I like the stream of consciousness thing. It's not so stoic.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And if you know Kevin Coelho's phone number, post that in the comments below. Until next time, it's been our pleasure to serve you. Thanks for watching the Game Over Greggy Show, everybody. Click here to go to Patreon. Click here to subscribe. Click here to check out Kinda Funny Games. And click here to see a video of a very, very young Andy Cortez. We don't have that video. It's just other content of ours. Kinda funny.